Alrighty, everybody, and welcome to the hold on a second, gotta take away the starting soon. But, alright, episode 7, everybody. Oh wait, I gotta hide Connor as well. But yeah, today, pretty interesting topic. We got a new person on the itinerary. Howley, or keep getting the name wrong. Randy.
Please don't call
Hello
him
everyone,
Jeremy.
I'm the Howling Storm, and glad to have me on today.
Mm-hmm. But, oh, and we finally found Cedric. He was out back behind the local Burger King, I guess.
I work at McDonald's.
Well, yeah, but he was betraying them by going to
Propaganda.
Propaganda. To keep that corporate advertising out of here.
No, if it was up to me, I would say no one goes to McDonald's.
Yeah, true. True, and yeah, that's
I'd be at the front door telling you to leave.
Get the fuck out of my McDonald's.
Why are you here?
Damn, not here. So how's everybody been doing these past couple of days, these past 2 weeks since the last episode?
It's been okay, I guess.
That's
I
good.
don't really have much to say.
Well, that's
I've been
exciting.
doing fine, even though this is my first episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had some technical issues the past couple of days, which is why this is being shot on a Wednesday? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, my
Yeah,
dudes.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's the day of wins.
I've had a lot of shit happen at once, but I don't feel like getting into it. But yeah, we got everything together and we're back. I started reading the Splatoon manga, and it's actually pretty alright for kind of a comedy, kind of slice of life style. Though a lot of the info is extremely outdated.
That tends to happen when, like, you basically we try to schedule, like, a formatted, like, media, and while like, the actual, like, source material is just getting updated at a faster rate than what you can, like, narratively script and publish.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the Mario manga where you could see Mario's penis.
What?
You heard me.
I don't know, did I?
There's a
Y'all
lot
hear
to,
something?
unpack here.
So about Mario's penis.
Yeah, so let's talk more about Mario's
We
penis.
didn't talk about Mario's penis, yeah.
Updates
join
the
us on-
topic list on the fly.
Join us on the new video order as we talk about Mario's penis.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
so much lore behind it.
You wouldn't understand the intricate lore clearly.
Mario's not circumcised.
Please do not get started on lore.
Yes,
I thought,
please.
Yeah,
I thought it
please
was
don't.
Waluigi who wasn't.
We're not gonna get started here. That's not the. This is not the.
No,
time.
yeah.
That's
That stupid clickbait headline that would pop up every so often. Nintendo confirms Waluigi is uncircumcised for some reason.
why would they actually do that though? It makes no
Don't worry
sense.
about it.
Would that mean Luigi is circumcised, considering
Yes.
he's the opposite of Waluigi?
Don't worry about it.
No. What's the evil version of that?
Penis
What's
pump.
the evil version of circumcising?
It's the evil version of a penis.
Oh wait, no. Waluigi's the evil one. What's the good version of being circumcised?
Penis pump.
Oh god, dude.
So why are we debating this?
Wow, wow, we haven't even started the main course in this.
We hadn't even-
Welcome.
we haven't
This
gotten to
this
what we've been
this is
doing lately.
this
We're
is
only
why I
talking
like to
about Mario's
format.
penis.
This is why I like to format my podcast like this, because and why we started this podcast in general.
No
We started talking about how
way.
we started talking about
Sucks.
how we're doing, and then we just end up talking about penis. At least Jesse
Well,
doesn't.
Dustin was interested in Mario's penis.
Let's hurry up, otherwise I'm gonna be late talking about penis too.
Yeah, I was about to say, at least Jesse doesn't have to go to work right now.
Have you heard they're coming out with Penis 3?
Yeah,
Third
Penis
strike.
XX reload. Thank you very much.
Penis 3,
Randy,
the
you
new
get
generation.
Randy, you get in when I
Penis
say you can get
third
in.
strike.
Second impact.
The moment I figure out how to reload, it's over for you bastards.
But yeah, I finished No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again on stream with Thomas earlier this week, very excited about 3 coming out in, what, 9 days now? The 27th? Really excited.
Yeah.
But, yeah, any other news for anybody else? Cedric, any new info you want to talk about? You just beat The World Ends With You Neo, right?
Yeah.
Well, how was that? God, it shouldn't be this hard to talk about what you've been doing, like hobby-wise, like Jesus.
I mean, I just don't got nothing I want to talk about. Dang.
To be perfectly honest, it's just I just kind of exist and don't really think about anything I'm doing. I just do it.
And sometimes it's like legit nothing really happens. I just don't have much to talk about.
I finally got Volume 2 of the Kaiji Omnibus. These things are massive. Because like y'all have seen the pictures I've sent of like how thick the Kaiji manga omnibuses are, right? Well, it's because instead of being, because you know what is an omnibus normally, like 3 chapters?
What? No.
Or 3 volumes? I mean, sorry.
Compilations depend. Well, it depends on the omnibus.
Implies everything. That it doesn't really need to be a specific amount.
Well,
Yeah, an omnibus is like supposed to be like really large.
No. I meant like typically, because like when I think about it, I think of like the ones for Fullmetal Alchemist where it's three volumes.
I don't get on the omnibus very often, so I don't know.
Okay, kind of aggressive, but okay. Anyway, the reason why the Kaiji Omnibus is so large and takes so long to translate is because it's an entire arc.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's like 7 to 8 chapters apiece. It takes
You know how I'm rusty at Strive? You know how I know?
How do you know?
My Faust.
Oh wow, yeah, wow.
That's how I know I'm rusty as shit.
My soul still knows stuff.
I still haven't been able to pot any.
Of course, Soul does. Literally a gorilla character.
You
Come
have
on, man.
everything in the world with Soul.
Gorilla characters. What do you expect?
Fucking Soul bad guy is so good he can order you Uber Eats mid-match or some shit.
I am a caveman.
And he'd still be plus on block.
I am a caveman, and I demand you respect my rights.
I'll tell you what you can respect.
These nuts.
I'm out.
This.
Fucking Jesus.
Me and Jesse went to the same area.
Delightfully, I am not bussing right now.
Oh, whoops. Oh, and if you're wondering what me and Howley are playing right now, an amazing fighting game that me and him are both trash at.
It's the best game that no one plays.
Yes. Also, Meister has some weird looking chrome and gold
Okay.
colors. Yeah. Started trying to get back into my hobbies again, primarily. Like y'all have seen the past few days, I've been trying to get back into Street Fighter V with G, and I'm getting okay, not perfect, but okay results with them.
Yeah. Then like it's been a while since I played this game as well. Like I definitely need to relearn a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
that the game has to offer in terms of mechanics and stuff.
Oh,
I am glad that the card system is no longer a major
dude,
thing.
Yes, Gogi
That
is
card
gone.
system was
Look
poop.
at this.
Okay, easy there, Mech Zangief. Jesus.
Yeah, it is just Mecha Zangief.
I am terrified.
I don't like how his wrestling belt looks in this game. Like it's like the middle part of the belt is just like stapled to his like pec.
I'm just surprised that it stays on.
Exactly.
The belt stays on.
The belt stays on during grapples.
The belt stays on during half circles.
Anyway, I've been up to, I've been just mostly been playing various fighting games lately. Been pretty good so far.
We just played Soul Calibur.
Yeah, we were having some epic Soul Calibur matches, but not with the main cast. No, why
No.
would we do that? Instead, we
Nobody
decided to play
does.
the creator roster.
Nobody does, man. that entire game is made for the cast to be irrelevant.
Oh, totally. We've had epic battles such as Homer Simpson fighting All Might, for example,
Yes.
alongside other creations, which we will not get into
Uh-oh.
because they are too great for feeble minds to appreciate.
Yes, exactly.
Great wouldn't be the word, but okay.
I mean, we almost had to call the police from Bad Mr. Frosty today, but
We had to call the FBI Mad Mr. Frosty.
yeah.
I'm bad.
Yeah, he was getting too comfortable with the
With one of the fighters, but anyway.
yes.
Speaking of fighting games, has everyone said what they want to right now?
Well, I kind of wanted to mention that I caught up on the series The Owl House, and it's really fucking good.
I can tell.
That's good to hear.
And yeah, and like pretty much right now it's on its mid-season hiatus. It'll start up again in 2020, and
It's
I'd highly
Netflix,
recommend-
right?
No, Disney Plus.
Disney. Okay.
Yeah, like pretty much every episode that's out right now is on Disney Plus, and like absolutely go watch. It's like one of the best fucking shows I've seen in like a long time.
Okay.
It's the best.
Yes.
We're the best. We're the best.
Yeah, but
Like I could go into a lot of what makes it so damn good, but I'm not gonna spoil shit.
my favorite main like cartoon right now is Amphibia, mainly because Hot Pop is amazing.
Amphibia is also good. I need to catch up on that before the final season starts, but that's really good too.
Hey kids, it's me, Hot Pop.
Hey, it's me. Let me in.
Yeah, the ASMR.
Yeah, honestly, like those two,
What?
Gravity Falls and DuckTales, are actually fucking good ass shit.
I haven't watched the modern DuckTales, but I've heard very good things.
It's so goddamn good. It's so good.
Yeah, I appreciate they use the same art style as those retro Mickey Mouse shorts they started doing.
It's actually based on like the original DuckTales comics, actually, like because like
Yeah.
it was because like like they were actually like they were actually like a comic series before like the whole '80s series.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, Donald Duck's comics lasted for a long time.
Oh yeah, they really did. And like again, like with all these,
chill.
I could talk about them for hours.
Sorry, I'm just getting really hyped, dude.
This is not a spoiler cast. This is just us bitching about fighting games today. So
Yeah.
But again, watch it. It's so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I found something I think you'll like, Dustin.
Okay.
I have to DM this to you.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my
What the fuck?
Just put it in burner.
No, this is an in-joke between
Oh.
us, but yeah, just give
They
this a
fucking-
You might as
Open it.
well.
Everything,
This is just an in-joke.
everything's an in-joke with these guys.
He just showed me a picture of Lenny Baxter from the Powerpuff Girls.
Do I need to put it on screen?
It's in the burner.
You
Do
can
I-
make that call for yourself.
It's supposed to be a jab at the 2016 series, which is all completely not good.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
But we've just gained an appreciation for comic book guy style characters.
That wasn't
Yes.
2019, was it? That was like 2018,
No, 2016. I said 2016.
16.
I think it
Well,
ended in 2019 though.
Hmm.
It's one of those that you feel like it ended earlier, but that's because it's like they completely screwed the schedule because it was not doing them numbers.
Yeah, because the whole thing was just
Because
bad.
the thing fucked.
It was just god awful.
But yeah, we had a recent thought experiment. We started to discuss. Well, it started with talking about Guilty Gear X, and
No, this kind of started with us talking about fighting game roster. So anyway, let me go get the original tweet real quick for you
wait, what?
because the fighting game roster tweet. Give me a quick second for you.
We're not at that one.
That's actually what we intended to be our main thing, though.
No. The fighting game roster thing was the main one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No-
but this was,
Okay, I have no idea anymore.
part of the magic.
We were like trying to tend this to be like the big one. Then we were going to talk about like, oh, and also let's talk about crappy character select screens.
Yeah, I'm just saying when you've lost me, I think that's a problem.
Well, we were already talking about the ugly character selects fairly frequently. So like let's
we were talking about this earlier.
well, I mean, dude, does it really matter, Jesse? Come on.
Anyway, let me find this shit.
Dude, come on.
Anyway, but yeah, like there's a lot of like we play a lot of fighting games, right?
Yes.
And we've been
I
talking
think-
about how, well, not only them, but basically arcade games in general, sometimes, like, they have some, especially back in the day, had some really weird ways to try to stand out by how they formatted the character select. There's a lot of odd examples. Like, it started primarily with us talking about how, like, all the character portraits keep overlapping in, like, the original Guilty Gear X. Like, Johnny being hidden behind two characters.
Oh.
They
Johnny,
tried to steal him away.
yeah, Johnny being hidden behind two characters. Freaking, Faust is hidden behind May. Which, I mean, kind of works. That's thematically appropriate, I guess. There's things like,
There was that weird thing where Testament and Dizzy, when you like had
But
them there,
to be
they
fair,
were
there are at least secret characters in that game.
yeah, but they were just kind of thrown.
No, yeah, I agree. It's still stupid, but
hey, Randy, I'm gonna have to back out for a second so I can start putting up examples on screen.
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Let's see. But like, I'm only gonna have one source on screen for this, though. Let's see. But, alright, like, because Jesse found a lot of examples of these. And turns out I did not save any of them. Awesome.
and you most of that.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. Oh no, that's typically what we do. Here you go. I'm bringing back. Here you go. I'm bringing back a stupid meme y'all sent me, just so I can have the source up. There. I hope y'all are looking at my stream feed and seeing what I put.
I am.
Lord.
Oh my god, Gold Lewis as fucking Chang.
Scooby Doo Wop Doo Doo.
That's
Gold Chang.
basically how he talks.
Scooby Doo Wop.
Okay, I found the tweet. I found the tweet that I was after, so I'll DM it to you anyway.
Let's
I don't
see.
have to think about it.
Okay, so horrible character select examples. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna throw up the X one just so they know what we were just talking about a second ago. But then there's things like what were some of the other examples, like Clay Fighter. Clay Fighters was really weird.
The original Clay Fighter was like real. Well, that's like the main.
Oh,
that's
not to
Less
mention
weird
that.
an actual bat.
Not to mention too, like, remember how that worked? You had to wait for the character to walk in and out of frame before
No,
it would.
That's Clay Fighter 1. Clay Fighter 2 is like actually a pretty good character select.
What? That is what I'm talking about. Clay Fighter 1.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about 2 for a second there.
I think if we have to talk about character selects, we need to talk about one of the most well-known Mortal Kombat clones that are out there.
Kasumi Ninja.
Yeah, Kasumi Ninja.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh,
bad.
oh,
It's like,
oh,
it's
I
like
have
a really
that.
shitty first-person view.
I have that.
Like, I'm all up for, like, being unique, but I feel like that's just a character select that just unnecessarily takes a while to actually...
It's like,
select
oh,
the
who
character.
do I want to pick? Oh, I'm gonna pick Angus because he has fireballs shooting out of his dick.
He's like the
I mean,
only
that's the
good
only
character
correct-
in that.
That's the only correct choice, but, like...
What have you never been to Scotland?
Big fireballs
Well,
are
it's almost
pretty
as
strong.
bad as Scotland. Yeah, Kasumi Ninja's almost as bad as Scotland.
It's worse than Scotland.
Yeah, it's worse than Scotland.
You sent me the. You sent me the.
them be killed. I've been shooting these all day.
You might need to get a doctor to look at that, my bruh.
What?
I'll fucking rip you. Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the donkey.
I'll send ye to hospital.
You're not taking me to the cooler.
The Kula?
Did you say
You think you're
gulag?
so rich and so Scottish.
I was trying to call. For some reason, it evolved into Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
Okay, anyway, but yeah, like, people can see on screen here, like, you got, like, it seems like the characters are supposed to be arranged in, like, kind of important, so you got, like, Sol and Kai on the top and bottom, and the, like, on top of all the layers.
By comparison, here's a good. I'll send you a good character select.
And then it seems like opposing characters are, like, in that same way, like, you got Milia and Zato kind of in the same spot as, like, Sol and Kai. But Johnny being buried behind 2 character portraits and Dizzy being, like, cut off on the bottom. Slightly. Like, the dude
Look how
literally...
they massacred my girl.
Like they wanted to make a character select and they ran out of time. They're just like, shit, all I got are these JPEGs. What do we do?
Slam them in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Like,
just
like
just-
show them like this is a good example of a character select right here.
just put them there.
Someone didn't know how to use
They'll
Microsoft
have to keep
Word.
scrolling down some
Fine.
eventually.
Did X have unlockable characters?
Unlockable characters, yeah, Testament and Dizzy.
Okay. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you can hardly see where Testament is too. And there's oh geez, that is a tiny picture. But yeah, see everybody, this is Kasume Ninja, or at least a still of it. Look at that, you have to go through basically the crypt to select your character.
It's so bad. And then, it's bad enough that the character select is bad, but then you go and play the actual game and you have like the most unplayable fighting game ever made up to that point.
Mhm.
I mean that's still a hard pitch to say it's the most unplayable fighting game.
You have that Jaguar controller. That Jaguar controller is terrible.
Not to mention, you have to essentially do cheat codes to unlock the blood and crap. Kind of like.
Well, it's not cheat codes. It's like more like there's a parental password.
Yeah, there's a
Oh, shut up.
password that was
I
in the
know.
manual. So imagine you bought that game secondhand. You wouldn't know what to do.
Well, you can get up on the internet nowadays.
Yeah, but back in the day, Jesse, put yourself in that mind. Like, imagine you
Back
bought
in
it.
the day, why would you buy it?
Well, remember, a lot of the times you bought the game because there wasn't easy internet access. But
Yeah,
imagine
but
that.
when you had magazines,
Like-
magazines probably printed it out.
Like you hear the
Play
game.
the game.
Like you hear
Yes.
the. You hear the game getting advertised. It's like, oh, it's like Mortal Kombat, but all I have is the Jaguar.
Why would
Yeah,
you
but-
buy a Jaguar though as a kid?
Also, Jeff,
Barrett may have-
can you actually imagine a magazine, other than saying how bad this game was, actually caring enough to say, ooh, here's the blood code.
I probably paid money for those Kasumi Ninja cheats.
Yes.
I bet
Shut
you
up, I'm
fucking
playing a
would.
cool game with blood and boobs and
They
stuff.
would
Not for
totally
kids.
pay money for that.
Dustin, you're joking, but you know that back in the day, that's what would
In your
sell.
games.
People still do that though.
Do
It's
they?
just about anime instead of Kasumi Ninja.
Oh yeah, like Mortal Kombat 11 saying like, oh, we're gonna make everybody look more competitive. Immediately makes Jade hot, as she always is.
Well, okay, but
Listen, if you're not making Jade hot, then what the fuck are you...
Is it even
Yeah,
Mortal
why?
Kombat?
Is it even Mortal Kombat if Jade is not the best looking 10 out
How
of...
can you be competitive if you're
agree,
hot?
I agree.
But it's so weird how Ed Boon did that too. They were like, we designed these characters to be more competitive and less
they have, like,
sexualized,
Johnny
and then
Cage that
immediately
also
show
Scarlet
Scarlet,
too.
and then show Scarlet immediately, and I'm like,
Remember DOA 6?
Scarlet's still basically wearing a
DMA
bikini.
6 was just them being a fucking master of the mixed message.
Yeah,
We're going to be more competitive and less sexual. They bring out 2 girls in bikinis out for like a
Exactly.
It doesn't go with Evo's core values, guys, but
It's
Italy
a,
children do.
it's a tactical bikini.
tactical.
Let's not forget the hypocrisy of the core values incident too, considering like Joey's like, yo, it doesn't go with my core values.
Dude, don't.
That
Yeah.
bikini has psycho.
I mean, it's
power in
not
it.
that much of a touchy subject.
Yeah, but it's like
Ooh,
that's.
And here we have Second
Oh, yeah,
Impact.
Second Impact with the horrible artwork. Look at Hugo.
Oh,
right there.
oh, can somebody find me a rip of Urian's actual character sprite?
Oh, give me a
God,
second. Give me a
Hugo
second.
looks bad.
Urian Street.
Oh yeah, look
Fire,
at dude,
dude.
freaking Hugo in this. It looks like those Moai heads from like the meme.
Okay, I found it.
Don't make
I
me
found it.
post
It's
my
not a
Moai
PNG.
collection.
You're gonna have to work with
over
us because this is not a PNG.
Insert Vine boom.
This is not a
exactly.
PNG, but
I
think
abuse Vine Boom,
There you go.
Randy, in voice chat. You should really look at it.
Where are you posting this so I can get
it's a
it?
burner.
Burner,
God,
okay.
that you're.
Oh, the shit I want you to put in there is going to be a burner. I want you
Oh,
to use that.
I have that downloaded already. You DM'd that to me a few days ago.
Yeah, but that's a good that's an example of a good select too. I just want that one to be like by comparison. Here's a cool one.
I do appreciate how Yoon and Yang are like on the exact opposites of the roster in like mirror areas.
That's
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of cool. But just not save this utterly ass character select screen.
You know what? I'm just gonna have Urian's art somewhere on screen permanently because I love it. It's a masterpiece.
It is just
Also, if we're gonna bring up terrible character selects, I feel like we also need to bring, as much as it pains me, we should probably also bring up
There we go.
the
Enjoy that
Darkstalker
art.
Corrections decision to replace the original sprite portraits with
the Darkstalker's Resurrection art was fucking bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's
Well-
like the art is good, but it's the fact that it's so jarring because like they still have
It
the
wasn't the
sprite
sprite artwork.
based UI, but their character portraits are all replaced with HD like artwork. So there's kind of like a jarring art style.
Dissonance.
what's
It's
the
just
word?
art dissonance.
Yeah, there's just an art dissonance from like the UI, and it just becomes so jarring that you have to go.
Especially because the character portraits still look like, especially because the character portraits, like the actual, like when you select the character, like it's still pixel art.
Uh-huh. But, like, God, there's so many weird examples. Like, Street Fighter definitely has a lot more hits than misses. They get better over time. Like, I think the original Street Fighter V character select was kind of bland, but I love the overhaul they did to kind of make it more like you're actually at a tournament, like you're at like the top 8 in the character select, because you know how it does like the today's date.
Yeah.
You know,
Sorry.
I think that's a big glow up from how 5 originally was. 5's original character select and like loading screen was like really bland. I'm not a fan of the in-game advertisements that to hide the loading screens, but
I feel like 5's original plan was to like make a callback to like how World Warrior had basically just
Where I had like
The,
the map
the
in the
globe
background.
in the background, and they would just show like the traveling thing. But they kind of like updated that for like the arcade mode ladders for 5.
mm-hmm.
Since 5 like has like arcade ladders based entirely on the different games that are in the past, like Street Fighter 1, Street
Mhm.
Fighter 2, Alpha 3, and 4.
I still think Alpha 3's character select is bad in an odd way. Let me air my grievances.
I don't think it's bad.
I just think that especially with 3, like the roster got so big in Alpha 3, the character portraits are so small, and sometimes when you haven't played in a while, the time really doesn't allow for you to like look all around. That might just be a me problem though.
I really,
I guess I can
don't.
see that, but like,
Okay, there's
3,
Cody. I'm gonna play Cody.
but 3 kind of has like a special place in my heart because obviously,
Oh,
don't think there's anything wrong with
Sam Show 2 and Alpha 3 were 2 of my first ever experiences to fighting games.
yeah. I feel like that's but like if we're talking about like well-known like select screens from like out, it's like there's like a lot of like select screens that are actually just absolutely legendary in Street Fighter. Like, there's obviously Street Fighter 2, and there's obviously Third Strike's character select with
Oh
the
yeah. Oh
legendary
totally.
music.
Oh, Third
Yes.
Strike's character select is really good.
Yes.
But I also, and then there's of course I think one well-known one that people know is like Alpha 2's character select, which is just
Alpha 2 has like one of the best character selects of all time.
yeah, and it
I
also
think-
handled, and I also think that it handled the it was also like the most, I think it's like
Are you not bringing up Capcom versus SNK?
No, CVS.
I'm saying it's Street Fighter general.
CVS 1's character select looks like trash.
Oh yes,
Yes.
most definitely.
The
CVS 1
hallway.
is trash.
The
Looks fine.
the
Form over
hallway.
function.
Yes.
I'm so glad that CVS 2 simple.
CVS 2, it looks way better and still has the style. Like it has a good amount of style and flair.
Whoops.
And also, let's not forget Guilty Gear XX. That one is like one of the best character selects of all time. And
Ro-
JoJo had a good one too, with all the comic
crap!
panels.
I keep posting the wrong images. I'm out of bad examples. That's why I only have good examples from now on.
You know,
Guilty Gear XX was a good character select, but we'll get back to that one in a bit when we talk about good ones.
I mean, we kind of are. Now here's the thing, though. Have we ever, like, do you guys remember,
First
any
games
like
always
like
been good ones.
the Soul Calibur games have always been kind of hit and miss on character select.
I remember Soul Calibur Series was pretty good, but it's like I've only really played 1, 2, and 6.
I look at Soul Calibur.
I played a bit of 4, but I do not remember anything from 4, and I've never touched 5.
Four.
I think I can think of another, like, I don't want to say bad example, but
Like I'm talking about like
let's say
like
bad
3D
example,
fighters.
because compared to what compared to like what the first game tried to do, it was definitely a downgrade. But despite being the superior game in that version, I think we have to talk about Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha's character select.
Like characters like off screen.
Oh yeah.
But didn't that one have like an arrow giving you an idea that there were characters off screen too? Because I don't think a 2 did that if you're playing the arcade version.
Because I mean at least it gave you that. JoJo doesn't.
No, JoJo gives you the arrow.
Does it? I don't see it on
Yeah, it
screen.
gives you the arrow
very
that
well.
says there's 6 characters on screen. But you have to have the characters unlocked for it to show the arrow.
Okay,
I
what
thought
if
the
11
arrow was.
doesn't?
I thought the arrows for EX was like just the vitality thing, just for handicaps.
Let me look up Street Fighter EX's thing because I've only played it very here or there. Plus Alpha character select. Let me look this up real quick.
Because I remember, like, originally
Okay,
you
yeah,
just had, like,
okay.
fake portraits.
There is an arrow that hints that shows there are characters off screen.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
But,
a
like, I feel like it's a downgrade from, like, originally, since the original, like, it had like, granted they were, like, 3D rendered portraits that obviously haven't aged well depending on who you ask, but, like, despite the fact that Plus Alpha is the superior version that everyone talks about, the character select really is a downgrade when you compare the two, because literally all you have are the small portraits to go off of, and you just have a never-ending scrolling of the title logo in the background.
What is the fuck is up with this background for it? Though?
If it helps with the EX Plus Alpha, when you play the versus mode, there's like it does like a Tekken quick select where it's like it has everyone there like on the screen too.
Oh, okay, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
So it has,
but
like,
I do remember that, like, they did get better with doing that for the upgrade. I remember them like like updating a better UI for like Street Fighter EX Plus.
Oh yeah.
EX2 Plus, since EX2's character select was kind of blue and a bit uninspired, since it was just like a vortex, a blue vortex in the background. But then EX2 Plus came in, and now you have a more stylized.
Oh yeah, it looks really cool. Like it is just night and day. Like which one is the better one?
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
But like, I think I can like send you like the EX Plus Alpha character select so you can put it on screen.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Let's not forget like the granddaddy of like small, bland character selects. Let's see.
Also going back on the subject of ones that like had glow ups, Blaze Blue's character select has definitely gotten better over the years.
Oh, totally. Central Fiction. Well, I mean, it started off pretty good, but it kept getting better. Like, because I thought
Honestly, it's always had a good select. I don't think it's ever had a bad.
I never really gelled with Calamity Triggers because I played it since the original.
Calamity Triggers.
It's all right.
Like, it helped that one only like Calamity Trigger also had like what 12 characters also. 13. Okay,
I think Calamity Triggers was fine because like everyone was in like a wheel basically.
Yeah. And also, I did play a little bit of.
Oh my god, this looks like a giant clusterfuck. I forgot about this.
I know, right?
What did hang on, Blaze Blue Continuum Shift character select. Oh yeah, that one looks fine too. Again, it's just still a wheel.
There we go. Got the
like,
got
honestly, Cross-Tag's the only one that's a little like iffy. But
Yeah,
Cross-Tag's
so
the only
this-
one that's bad, but that's just because
Yeah.
Cross-Tag, you have to like scroll through everything and give, and like everyone has
Cross-tag
their
looks
own
like a
separate
fucking
wheel.
Excel spreadsheet.
I don't
Yeah.
even think it's that bad, to be honest.
Well,
I got
that's
used
because you're
to it.
used
What
It's a
does-
very step down from like what originally they had, because like
We're
even
used to
though
how-
that
We're used to using
Trust
Trust me,
Cross-Tag.
even though it
trust
doesn't
me, you get
actually
used to it
artwork,
once you play the game.
You get used to it, it doesn't change the fact that it sucks.
okay,
I
like,
don't think
my
it
thing-
sucks that badly, to be honest.
Like,
That's
I
just
don't
me.
hate it that much. Like, my thing is just like, I'm gonna be real. I really don't give this much of a shit about this topic of just of
Fair
rating
enough.
the character select
Bad one,
because
we needed something that like add extra air for our main topic.
yeah, but like the thing is like really the only times I'm like, oh yeah, fuck this character select is when it's like that fucking Guilty Gear one you showed where it's like characters are fucking hidden.
Oh yeah, the Guilty Gear X one, because that's just a mess. It doesn't help that there's like also MIDI guitar in the background too.
Yeah, like
It's
that's really
something
the
you
only
don't
time I
really notice
give a
unless
shit
it's
about
really
a character
fucked
select
up.
went so bad and it's so cramped you can't even find your character.
It's like it is the definition of like trying like because Guilty Gear always has had like that cool like oh let's have some cool presentation, but I felt like it failed when it came to X. But when it came to XX where it had the wheel, it looked cool.
Yeah.
It also helps that like Guilty Gear XX is like where everything really came into form for the series too.
You know what's a great character select?
What?
All the Marvel versus games.
Oh, all the Marvel games are good, especially Marvel 2s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel
I like
3
Marvel
is
3.
the
Also like
best.
Marvel 3 is a lot more. It's a comic book too. That was actually
I
really
think
cool.
Marvel 3 is
No,
the
don't
best.
remember
PS.
when the original Marvel 3's character select was more like the Marvel 2 one, but it's
Well,
just
no, I'm talking Ultimate 3. Like Ultimate 3 is the comic book. I thought that was actually really cool.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, but like ultimate, but
But,
like
yeah.
like 3
One
Vanilla
thing is
did
good
kind of
too.
have like a nice
and
a nice
plus
way to character select because like it went from like the portraits into the actual 3D models preparing for battle. Like
oh yeah. I think speaking of
Marvel
speaking
1
of
is
a
just
lot
iconic.
speaking of a lot
Yeah,
of
I think I know,
characters
like,
on
Marvel 3's UI is like with Ultimate 3, but that's like specifically the UI, but that's more because it's like really confusing. Like, okay, which one's my assist 1, which one's assist 2?
speaking
Yeah.
of Excel spreadsheets, that's kind of my opinion on KOF 14's character select because it's just really plain.
I mean, I don't think
At
it
least
looks.
it functions.
It
Yeah,
functions.
Like,
don't think
I'm
it's
not,
that
I'm
bad
not
at
saying it
all.
doesn't. I'm just saying it looks plain compared to the other ones. Like, I played a lot of Ultimate or 2002.
There's like
And-
a lot of KOF ones that are pretty plain, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
don't
it
think
does
that's
feel
just a
like that
fortune
since this is like the 3D, since it's like the first ever like 3D game in a long time since like Maximum Impact. That it does feel like that it is kind of like a safe yet feeling a bit of like a downgrade from like what they usually attempt to do for character selects. Like when you look at Maximum Impact, you select
I
a
don't
character.
think that one is good. I don't think that
Yeah,
one is
Maximum
good
Impact-
actually.
Maximum Impact 1 and 2, like they had some, despite not being the best of the best attempts at like a 3D entry for KOF, is that it still actually tried to like be stylistic enough to actually make things work. Like you had like
I don't
a
even
lot-
think the
kinda
menu
like,
looks good, to be honest.
Honestly, let's not forget the absolute, like, just absolute dumpster fire that this character select is.
Can we talk about Marvel Infinite and how it would never be completely even?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Marvel
oh yeah,
Infinite's
dude,
is
that
special
crap.
thing.
A perfectionist nightmare.
Honestly, that
Yeah.
KOF one doesn't bother me.
The character part of it's more the sprite art for 2001 in the arcade is just really bad.
But the layout's fine.
Oh yeah,
The way it
KOF
looks
2001
fine,
has
but it's just like it
garbage
looks
on
bad, but that's because like graphically 2001 is just trash.
Y'all said 11's is also bad. I can't remember that one off the top of my head because I never
11?
played
Yeah,
11 that
It looks
much.
really off.
11's looks fine, but you have to scroll off to get the extra characters.
Well, that's
and there
no,
isn't really...
that's only like with the console because the console version added more extra characters.
Yeah, but there isn't really a
There's 5
sign
bonus
or
characters in
something.
the arcade game, but that's like it's just only 5, and they were time release characters too.
And
I still don't think it looks
and I
that
still
good.
want Duck King to come back, but that's beside the point.
Like
Anyway,
honestly, KOF 11's looks fine.
I think that like maybe like I don't think this like say bad, but it definitely showed that they were losing they're kind of losing their edge for a while. Maybe we can bring up in Mortal Kombat Armageddon's characters.
Oh,
that is
dude.
just bad.
Okay,
that
Because
is-
like,
that is
like,
so
Mortal Kombat
terrible.
Armageddon, a lot of characters also started to look samey.
Yeah, okay. I kind of agree with you here, but to be fair, I mean, I think that was like the only way they could have shown that many fucking characters.
Yeah, imagine the guy that had designed that.
Armageddon's characters just look like the graphics of Armageddon. Like a lot, like certain characters.
Oh, hey,
let's
I
see, I'm
found
looking
it.
at it.
Oh my God! Look how that is a big picture.
Yeah, like I'm looking
Yeah.
at this real quick.
Like at least you can kind of tell what they were going for with like all the ninjas in one row.
Oh yeah, the ninjas are the only part that's fine, but it's like there's Striker, which in the top left, which I would like. I swear I'm gonna confuse Movado for someone else.
Again, where's Suhao? Let's find Suhao.
Suhail's
He's right there.
Yeah, he's right. He's right there at the bottom. Bottom of the blue.
Because his character is surprisingly distinctive compared to.
Yeah,
Movado.
he's just as important.
Of course
as Sonya
he's
Blade is
of course he's distinctive to you.
Yeah, because he's
I
the
swear,
best.
look, you want to know how bad this character select screen? I confused Hotaru for Fujin on this.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Hotaru, this was like the one weird game where like they decided either we omit Hotaru and we fuck up
No,
our whole everyone is
Motaro.
back
Well,
gimmick.
no. Hotaru's from Deception. Motaro's a centaur.
Yeah, yeah, my bad. Motaro is like, I love how like they literally had to like do this weird ass.
They had to make him a Minotaur and go, oh, he's cursed. Now he gets to be two-legged.
Yeah, because like they actually
Look like
explained it in like the
Red
developer
Dead
notes.
model 3D properly.
Yeah, they actually explained it in the developer notes saying that like they had to like either remove them entirely, thus making them liars about all playable characters being in this game.
Imagine getting a
or-
class action lawsuit over that.
Class
Yeah, but
action.
that's
class
we can probably continue. We can probably
Yeah.
continue that in like our upcoming.
We're gonna have to have like a separate podcast entirely on Mortal Kombat alone.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I would love to talk about the thoughts on the whole series. That'd be great.
Also,
But
I want to say like this character select also makes me confuse Serena with Nitara also
The
because they're like,
Suhao cast.
I like that Quan Chi is dead center or close to dead center.
Yeah.
Right
But
next to
I feel
Keep
like
getting
that like
those
this.
things.
I feel like we can bring back this game up when we get to like the big topic
Well-
of the night.
Oh yeah.
Because this is a good example that we kind of omitted from when we considered bringing
Oh
this up.
yeah, totally. Also, I feel like definitely like most of the graphic. Granted, most of the characters looking samey isn't really the fault of the character select itself, but rather just how homogeneous the graphics started to feel at this point.
Homogeneous.
Like it's just the PS2 era just looks bad in retrospect. I mean, I know someone's gonna say, "Well, it's PS2 graphics." I'm like, bullshit. Tekken 5 looks fucking great still.
Hey! I got a better example than that. Real Bout Fatal Fury Special has a god tier character
No, I'm
select,
talking about PS2 graphics. Like, I'm talking about like how the graphics started to look bad for it.
and I'm talking about how that was way before it. There we go. Let the
But I'm
viewers
talking
make
about
their own
3D
judgment on this.
graphics, though.
You have to
Look at
slide
that.
off screen to see half the characters. Oh, and don't
And
get me
there's
started
a
with the
very
DLC.
and there's a very weird discrepancy that like there's
And
like
then-
not that many characters.
Oh, and
some
dude,
char-
this has kind of
It's
the
like-
Marvel Infinite problem because you see that there's empty spaces on the Ruby side.
Yeah, it's like Ruby has like I think 5 characters
Ruby
now. 'cause
Five
you-
characters,
Yeah.
And then you
Eh,
have
eh,
bonus
oh,
that has
oh,
4 characters.
oh,
And
and-
then you have Arcana Heart, which has 1 character.
Uh-huh.
Arcana Heart's part of bonus.
Yeah,
And then you have the
Sven
cutscene
Kagura's
display.
rep.
I'm talking
I mean, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
But I love how they
It's
still
because you're
like
used to it.
yeah, like really quick. You know what I love about it too? It's like
play the game.
it's like whenever
We
you
played the game
like
too, but we're still gonna shit on it.
like
Well,
yeah.
I don't think it's bad, so I guess we'll just
You're,
disagree
you're,
on that.
you're mistaking bad for like criticism because like in general
No,
like
you.
I don't even know where we are
Okay.
in this fucking.
We're still gonna
conversation.
criticize it because it's like this is just not how you do a character select ever.
I mean, fine. If you're gonna criticize it, fine. I just don't see the. I just
like
don't think it's a big deal.
you know what I find funny about it? Like think about Akatsuki Blitzkampf and the Ruby roster because if you go to the end of their line and you go tab over, it'll still like cycle the characters through. So it's like Akatsuki Blitzkampf. It's just like, oh man, who do I want to be? Do I want to be Turbo Nazi Puncher or do I want to be Tank?
Tank.
Decisions.
Thank you, of course. Why
wanna
not
be
both
the
at the
opposite?
same
Or
time?
do I want to be the tank?
Always
Yeah,
in
but-
the tank.
Yeah, so if you go to their row and keep tabbing over, it just keeps swapping them back and forth.
And then Ruby has like 5 characters despite being a fucking main attraction.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
That's
just like,
funny.
we'll give you Neo. Don't spend it all in one
Neo's
place.
good because she at least
Can we
put
have
hard
Roman?
counter for the
No.
other 4.
Yeah, and I love how they hired a whole ass voice actress for her, and she doesn't
Well,
hardly
it's
talk.
the voice actress is the
She
one who basically
laughs.
sings most of the
The
music.
most useless option in cross tag is the ability to switch her language.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear the Japanese giggles, man.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, well,
I want to hear the English tank.
You can't even change it for Blitz.
I know.
Japanese.
but anyway, I think we talked a good amount about character selects for sure.
Oh no, dude, this is funny now. I like that.
But what was the next
Okay, but
But
I
like,
don't think.
Like, you
Tekken has.
You heathens playing the
Tekken's always mostly had good character selects. Let's be real.
Yeah.
you heathens playing the fucking Undernight cast in English. Disgusting.
The Undernight cast is good in English.
No, Gordo has a
No,
great
this-
English
It's
voice actor.
it's
It's
a
okay. We all know
purist meme.
Roger's a weeaboo. It's okay.
It's a
You're a
purist-
weeaboo
He
too.
won't let me
Yeah,
turn
I know.
We're all
Joker off.
weeaboos.
I
Surprise!
do want to say, I do want to add one more thing. Like the guilty.
Okay, there we go.
Not the Armageddon thing. I was about to say like.
Oh
Guilty
no,
Gear
if we're
X-
moving on, I'm putting that up since he said it was a good example.
Well, yeah, but that's gonna be when we get to that point.
I feel
Okay,
like we
let's
are.
unmask this monster. It's a weeaboo.
No, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to our thing with using this as a branch.
The big thing about like the fighting game roster.
well, the thing is, I was hoping that Jesse would send me a screenshot of the tweet
I
in
did.
question. Did you?
I
Are we
did.
Roman canceling into the next topic?
It's in burner, dude.
It's
doing
plus.
it?
I'm sorry, man. It's plus on block. You lose.
It's in burner, dude. It's right. I literally just put it in burner like earlier.
Sorry, Cedric.
Wait,
it's
wait.
plus.
Wait, am I plus or are you plus?
The topic is plus.
I'll go and
Plus on block.
Okay,
I'll go
so
and
how,
repost it for you.
I'm
no,
gonna
no, no,
mash
no,
out
I
my
got it.
punch anyway.
I got it. So how do I? Let's see. So how do I go about changing this?
I'm gonna get that DP off. I don't care.
I play. Haha. Jokes on you. I play G. I have no wake up.
Jokes on you. I have no.
There is no
Wake
way
up,
up.
that did not
Perish.
exist.
There is no wake up. Stay down.
There's no wake up. Die.
There is no wake up. You forgot to set your alarm. You fool.
There is no wake up. Command grab.
Okay, there we go. Resize it slightly. Hey, actually, yeah, this looks pretty alright.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the roster.
Yeah.
Modern versus retro. Yeah, because we try to make these about an hour 30 or so.
So anyone want to like?
Oh yeah, Jesse, you.
Give it a little bit of an increase. It's a little tiny on here.
Well, remember, others are seeing this at full screen on Twitch, so it's fine.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at it on full screen on my TV, and it's still a little tiny.
Well, remember, I can't full screen the Streamlabs, dude.
Well, I'm just simply saying, like, just bump up like the
Okay.
square. a little.
How about we all just
But
look on
Jesse, you
stream?
know what the tweet says.
Yeah, I know what the tweet says, but it feels like a little tiny. I'm just simply saying, just for convenience sake, just make it a little bit.
There. God.
Let me look on the actual stream, see how big it is.
Jesse, you sound like the people who designed the Guilty Gear X.
Okay,
uh,
yeah, on stream itself, it is a bit small. Could be made a bit bigger.
okay.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
take his side, why don't you? Wait a sec. Wait a second. Got to fix this. Hold on. He said it's got to
I'm
be like
sorry,
it's
I'm
like
using-
it's like the Guilty Gear one. There we go. There we go.
Hide the topic behind the other topics.
Okay, so
Oh wait a second. Hold on.
I like that my icon is a dog sitting in a chair. Off his chair.
And it's a very bad Mr. Frosty.
Why is the
that's where
dog
he
in the chair?
deserves.
likes to be tall.
Actually, I just realized the TV frame. I took the video capture out, and it's just like it literally is almost a
Dr.
perfectly
Wily,
cut off
man.
GIF. Yeah, Dr. Wiley. Just like, hey,
No,
I,
just watch
Well,
Dr. Wiley.
and now for Wiley for sports.
Oh man, I love podcasting with you guys. So I'd never know
Yeah.
what'll happen.
Anyway, just
Yeah.
go.
The roster.
Anyway, let's go ahead.
Any one of you want to intro us into?
Evidently, I'm having to
I'll read
resize
it.
the damn thing. Hold on.
Okay, we'll let him size it, and then I can tell how much
Just
of a
make it,
fucking
like-
how
oh,
much
yeah, that's
fucking
fine.
bullshit this tweet
That's fine.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So basically,
You know the whole deal.
was about. I'm going to say it
I
was
can read it,
about 2
yeah.
weeks ago that we saw this tweet.
Yeah.
Where it said this might be an unpopular opinion, but instead of having 80% returning characters and 20% new characters, let's go for 20% returning characters, 80% new characters.
That's a load of horse shit.
Isn't that kind of Third Strike though, because of Ryu,
yeah,
Ken, and
that's
Chun-Li?
exactly what Third Strike was. In fact,
Yeah,
I'm
It was
gonna bring
hated
up-
at the
that.
time for that.
I'm gonna bring up this. That's what made Street Fighter 3 very hated originally.
But it had
Yeah,
a lot of.
Then again, Street Fighter 3 was released like what 20 years ago.
Yeah,
now?
but
Yeah.
I will be real though. I don't mind it as much in Third Strike because the characters they replace are actually I actually prefer the replacements in Third Strike. But
Yeah,
like,
get-
Well, Street Fighter
Oh,
3's
true.
newcomers are actually pretty cool people nowadays.
yeah, Remy,
Yeah.
12, Hugo.
Jeremy, my goat.
I think Alex is my favorite guy.
Like, let me put my perspective on it. It's like,
I zoned out.
like in the long term of things, Street Fighter 3 did make like a long term good idea to like freshen up the new generation, but here's the main problem with their whole idea, like in like a marketing way. Like two things here. Like this was like the first ever direct sequel that took place after one of their best sequels into the franchise ever. This was a sequel to Street Fighter 2. We're talking Mr. World War. We're talking Mr. New Challengers,
Mhm.
Mr. Championship Edition,
And the final
Mr.
challengers.
Turbo.
Mr.
Like-
Hyper Fighting.
And the final
Mr.
challengers,
Koryu
because
edition.
that crap is still going on to this day.
Like,
And in the long run, like, and then for some reason when they decided that like in between alpha sequels, that they decided that one actually like sequel and not a prequel to it, they decided to basically try something new and try to like make it like a brand and basically try to make it like a brand new like generation of fighters, like similar to how Street Fighter 1, which was a very unpopular iteration, the first iteration obviously, and then transitioning completely by like taking out like all but 3 characters from the first game and putting it into the brand new Street Fighter 2 roster. Except here's the thing, like behind the scenes, originally I believe that Ken and Ryu were only last minute.
they were like super last minute. They were originally not supposed to be in the game at all.
Exactly, they were last minute because they the entire roster with brand new characters, but Ken and Ryu had to be added in because they feared that it would completely alienate people who were returning.
Well, I mean,
to
that's
the
also why some of them kind of are reminiscent of characters on the roster, like
Man,
Hang on, let him finish.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. But here's the main problem that when you do like when Street Fighter 3 did it, that even though that Street Fighter 3 and specifically Third Strike is fondly remembered as one of the best Street Fighter games, back when it first came out as the first iteration, it was fucking loathed. Well, not loathed, but it was very unpopular when it came out. And even after like Second Impact and even Third Strike when it initially came out, sure, it got better by bringing back. It got better with like updates, to like the system, and obviously Third Strike brought back a fan
brought back
favorite
Chun-Li.
such as Chun-Li.
well,
And Second
Tim,
Impact brought back Akuma.
yeah, Second Impact brought
Akuma was in
Akuma.
Second Impact.
And I guess you could say, like I was bringing up a second ago, like some of the roster, they have things reminiscent of the other characters, like Necro being like Dalsim.
Well, Necro and Dawson play still completely differently,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, I know, but you have a character with long reach.
Yeah, but like I'd still say like Dawson and
It's like
Mongo.
design-wise, it's
Yeah,
reminiscent.
Like, I definitely know what
Yeah.
you're saying, but it's like I would still say like Necro had his own unique flair.
Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't.
Man,
Yeah,
could you imagine?
basically,
a
it's
Street
like
Fighter
basically
game
like you
without
have
Ryu or Ken? That'd be sick.
Oh yeah, which was Sean, but And
No, like
Sean
we
was
said,
great
came
in
with
the first
Fiona, it
game,
was supposed to be Sean,
apparently.
but
Yeah,
anyway,
Sean was great in Street Fighter when Street Fighter third.
He
Street
was
Fighter, like,
in the first game and the second.
iterations.
straight up busted as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
problem
until
was
Third
that
Strike
they-
where he was garbage.
Yeah, because they realized that they originally planned for Sean to act. That in story-wise, Sean actually is terrible at fighting, so they basically nerfed him in order to match up with lore.
And when they nerfed him, God, they hit him hard. They broke his kneecap with the lead pipe.
Could you
Yeah,
imagine
just shot him in
Sean
the
being
spine.
released now? Considering that they gave Dan an infinite,
They made
what
Dan
would they give
S
Sean?
Sean's just straight up sitting there in Third Strike like, go basketball.
They
Anyway,
broke
yeah,
his leg.
like-
Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like until like the game actually like got like a legacy revival, like I feel like that people didn't really start like fully appreciating the series up until the insert Evo moment 37 here.
Oh,
Or,
Burger
like-
King foot lettuce got you.
Basically like where the game actually got the biggest attention it could have ever fucking got from the competitive scene, that actually like got a lot of people like re-interested in the title and raised it up to this holy grail of fighting game entries.
Yeah, it was like when it started to come to home consoles, that's when people were like, hey, this is pretty sick.
It helped
Wasn't
that
it
Third Strike was
online
for the
edition
PS2,
where it
so
really?
it helped
Yo,
that-
yeah.
like, Third
Online
Strike, when it was
edition.
For the PS2, it came with a port of Super Turbo as well.
Yeah.
So people were like, oh, Super Turbo's on this. Oh, we also got Street Fighter 3. Let's take a look at this. I never played it before. And people were like, holy shit, this game's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it kind of worked after the fact, but initially, the fact that it took so many versions for the game to actually reach the potential of actually hitting with people and fans alike, it kind of shows that marketing-wise, that the whole new roster ratio overtaking returning doesn't exactly work, and it doesn't exactly work as much as some people would like to believe. Like, and that's kind of why we brought. And that was actually one of the biggest examples that like got brought up when this tweet was actually getting conversation attention. That's Third.
Like, a lot of people brought up, like, remember how Third Strike was, like, so universally banned at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think another thing that's also worth pointing out, also, like, Third Strike, it also really didn't help that arcades were dying at the time.
Make a
And it
Blaze Blue
wasn't put
game
on
where
more
it's nothing
popular
but characters
consoles
from the
for a while.
gacha.
yeah. But here's the thing that I feel like that this even spans out to like even other franchises that
Oh, yeah.
have had this happen, even if it's not like as talked about. Like,
Let me bring up one example real quick. I mentioned I like the Soul Calibur series.
yeah,
You say that from time to time.
Soul
I've
Calibur
heard of it.
5 has like the worst example of this by far, I feel, even worse than Third Strike. At least Third Strike's characters were actually pretty cool characters in their own right.
Yeah,
Soul
and they were
Calibur
also
5?
unique, so that even that they had like some like similar,
Some
had,
overlap.
like, similar like gameplay styles, you can still say that this is actually a brand new style of character.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Like,
got
Alex is, like,
Patroclos.
Alex, I would say, is a totally good example
Oh,
of a good
please don't
protagonist.
bring up Patroclos.
Alex in Street Fighter 3, he's a pretty cool protagonist. I like Alex. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait,
I
wait,
really
what?
like Alex a lot, to the point that I made him in Third Strike. He's awesome.
Wait, is Alex a protagonist?
Alex
Yeah,
is
he's the protagonist against Big Bad Gil.
Like, Alex
Oh.
is the main character of 3. Like, it's very
Who
apparent
who
new
would
generation.
beat? Who would win a fight? A literal god or some angry dude from Brooklyn?
Alex canonically won Street Fighter 3.
Brooklyn Rage.
Brooklyn Rage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brooklyn
Alex
Rage
canonically won
incarnate.
Street Fighter 3.
You can't escape.
Oh yeah, that's the best thing too. Second Impact gave us his amazing voice. His amazing voice in that game.
For all you wrestling nerds watching this, that's where Kenny Omega gets his one of
Really?
his signatures from.
No, oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
But,
Yeah,
anyway,
like when he does the whole fireman carry roll through, he backs up, aims for the corner, and just goes, "You can't escape."
That's
He rolls
awesome.
Through and then falls up.
I do love how it said in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, though, where it's actually awesome. It's like, you can't escape!
That's awesome.
And then,
Yeah,
and it goes, you can't skeet.
Isn't Kenny Omega a huge fucking Street Fighter?
Yeah,
yeah,
Kenny Omega is a huge fucking
Oh,
Street Fighter, like,
But
marked
Like,
anyway, as I was saying,
wait, what was the name of the guy from the gosh, what were they called again? They were a popular like tag team trio in WWE. Crap, what was their names?
The New Day.
Yeah, the New Day. Wasn't one of their guys like he went to Evo, got bodied, and on camera he was just like, "That's all I wanted. I wanted to go to Evo."
Yeah, Xavier Woods. Him
Yeah.
and Kenny have like a back and forth friendly rivalry outside of the ring.
Yeah, and
In
I
terms
love
of gaming.
I love that video from Corey. He was just like, "That's all I wanted to see. I wanted to go to Evo."
Anyway.
Instantly got
saying-
bodied.
Anyway,
Yeah.
though, as I was saying though, Street Fighter 3's newcomers were unique and were pretty cool. Soul Calibur 5's newcomers suck.
I think Wolf Dude with
Fong's
looks kinda
cool.
Who's the wolf
Fong's
guy?
cool.
Yeah, Fong's the only one people remember.
Yeah,
don't even
generic
remember.
Chinese henchman from Kung Fu movie.
I'm talking about Soul
Oh,
Calibur
it's
5.
not
not
for-
Street Fighter 5.
No, you're talking about.
Who's
no,
the
we're
wolf
talking
guy
about
for
the-
Soul Calibur
the-
5?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Zwai's
wolf guy.
alright. Zwei is alright. He's the only good one.
Who?
Zwei.
Why? Yeah, that's not who you're
The
talking
JoJo guy.
Don't know who that is.
Zwei is like Zwei's a dude that has a stand.
Is-
But
I
Soul
feel
Calibur,
like, I feel like that there was like some potential. Like I feel like I guess
Oh,
technically.
Dampierre is amazing.
Dampierre did not debut in Soul Calibur 5. He debuted in Broken Destiny.
I still count it as five
But
plus.
he didn't debut in 5 though. He debuted in 4.
He's still
I
a
guess five
fantastic
was
new
his
addition.
5 was his console version, but like in 4 he debuted in like the PSP port.
I hate that people hated Dampierre when he first released. I liked his idea. It's nice to have just a dude that is like just a shit-eating grin, like snake oil salesman.
Well, anyway, as I was saying, they're like Soul Calibur 5. A lot of the characters did not return, so you had Jean Qua. She did not return. You had Keelik, who did return, but he became a mimic, so he was succeeded by his son Ziba, who is a fucking idiot. I want to say, like
He's
all he wants is
Goku.
food. So Phoebe did
Goku.
not return.
Oh, Lorelai is
he's worse-
totally.
he's stupider than Goku.
I feel like there was like I feel like if there's one character that you can be like 50-50 on, it's probably Natsu. Like since it's like
Natsu-
at one
Natsu's
hand,
good
Here's the
Ta-
problem, though. Natsu replaced Taki, who was cool.
yeah, Natsu replaced Taki, which is definitely like a lot of the main gripe of God damn
And the
it.
problem is, like, a lot of these replacements, I would also say, like, a good amount of these replacements were of female characters, because remember, Soul Calibur 5 had a 17-year time skip.
Yes, women
and
do
it
not
feels
exist.
It feels like a lot of these replacements kind of felt like there was an ulterior reason for the replacement. Like, oh, women are old. We gotta get rid of them now.
Get rid of the old and busted.
It's like, add new hotness.
trade in the pre-owned.
Taki was only 40 years old at that point. Let's not forget, like, also with Ivy, they had to justify keeping her. They had to go, oh, she just stopped aging at 32.
Yes, the prime
It's
age.
50 years have passed. Yet I
Just
cannot
stop.
age.
No, but they listed as, because, like, in Soul Calibur 1 and 2, which Soul Calibur 2 takes place 4 years after 1, she aged 4 years. But, like, when Soul Calibur 5 came out, which takes place 17 years after 2 through 4, they listed as, oh, she just stopped aging at 32.
Yes, that yes makes total sense.
Also, only 3 characters visibly aged in Soul Calibur 5, which were Siegfried, Hilde, and Mitsurugi.
Astaroth aged, but he,
No, yeah,
he
that's a different Astaroth in 5.
And
Okay.
I feel like that I feel like
Okay.
as much as it pains all of us to mention, Soul Calibur 5 also didn't help that he also had the worst protagonist in the entire series.
Oh, wait.
Patroclus, who was like going back to that? Yeah, he was Sophidia's replacement.
that isn't that the master of all fighting styles guy?
No, that's Edgemaster. No, Patroclus is Sophidia's
Edgemaster.
replacement.
He
Patroclus
is the Edge
Sophidia's-
Lord.
He
But
is
didn't
an
we-
absolute shithead.
But then the dog.
Yeah, no cap. I
also-
really don't care enough about
No,
Patroclus.
Edgemaster's still there.
No, I said Patroclus. I don't care enough about him to hate him.
Patroclus kills an innocent man as his establishing character.
Yes,
build.
I know about that.
I just
Here's
like
the
planets
problem.
and that was it.
He replaces Sophidia,
That was it.
and he's just such an arrogant asshole. He's like
It's the
every He's like every like worst stereotype about like a person that fights for justice.
So he's kind of like Homelander
He's
from
like-
The Boys,
Think,
but
think
bad.
think like pre-character development Kai without any of Kai's redeeming qualities.
So it's just Kai from Guilty Gear 1, and it's just,
He's just an
that for the
average
whole
Kai
series.
player.
No, he's just Kai from Guilty Gear 1 with none of Kai from Guilty Gear 1's redeeming qualities.
Just
Just
an average Kai player.
Like he's Kai if he was like really
The
racist.
the average Kai player.
I mean, wasn't Kai really
The average
racist
Kai
against
player.
Gears?
Gears at least killed his family.
Oh, I guess
Gears
racism
at
is-
least.
Those
At
Gears
least.
were barely sentient except for like Soul, Dizzy, and Justice.
Anyway, what is y'all's perfect ratio of new to old characters?
Honestly, honest to God, it has to be if we're talking about base roster, even 50-50.
I would
you
say
have to have
60.
enough. You have
Oh.
to have like enough returning characters that actually not alienate people who have grown up on the series. But you don't want to immediately just replace. You don't just immediately want to fill out all the roster with the same exact like fill in as last entries because you
Last
can
season.
keep it unique.
Um,
I
here's-
mean,
I say
look at the screenshot right here.
I actually would say probably about a 60-40 on either side would be a good balance.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like a good
Depends
example
on what
of
you're
the
doing,
whole
I guess.
the
Mhm.
whole like too much returning characters is honestly there it is. Like Mortal Kombat Armageddon, I did mention that we come back to this. Like I know that it was like the whole gimmick that like everyone
Everyone.
everyone that's been playable in the past games are now featured in this roster, but it
But
did
would you
also,
want to?
but it also came with the detriment that like sure that like also
That's
not
a lot.
only do we have everyone returning, we also have the first ever create a character system.
Oh yeah, with the not too obvious fucking Goku ripoff anime style.
Yeah, but here's the main problem with the whole idea is that you kind of did feel like that that there was like they're at their like wits end with like some ideas like create a fatality basically relegated all the characters I want to say unique
There were like no unique
personality.
fatalities whatsoever. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
their personality became absolutely like stifled just for the sake of the whole marketing gimmick. And also a lot of characters did some of the characters did overlap despite the fact that a lot of them did get some hit or miss redesigns. Like I do like both Chameleon's redesigns for the game, like despite the fact that female Chameleon with a K, because this is Mortal Kombat, was only
Yes.
for like Wii version of Armageddon.
Oh yeah.
That's because she was in the N64 version of Trilogy.
Yeah, for me, if we're going by the ratio, honestly, I feel the 80% returning, 20% new characters is probably the best way to go, because like, I'm usually the type of person in most of these games to play the more off the wall characters, and wouldn't you know, when you start cutting returning characters, those tend to be the first ones to go.
I think going back
Faust
to
is
like
still there.
Who?
Faust is still there.
Yes, but he sucks.
Faust is okay.
no, Faust is garbage in fucking
We will
Strive.
discuss this later. He is fine.
Faust
Move
is
the
trash
argument
there.
out of the podcast.
He's trash in Strive. Even pro players are like, he's bad.
Okay.
Episode 8, where we talk about
You're shitting on Faust today.
Episode
Yeah,
8, we are
I know,
continuing
I
to
play
shit on
Soul and he's
Faust.
I
awesome.
play Potemkin. He's got damage.
I play Soul and he has F slash.
okay, but here's my idea for like
It's
for like trying to solve the whole ratio is that if you do start off
ratioed.
with like the whole
Oh, that's what I should have titled the podcast episode. Ah,
Get
Yeah.
ratioed.
yeah.
Get rich.
Just
That's
rename it when you put it on YouTube.
And I also want to add also back to like the Mortal Kombat Armageddon thing too. It also really doesn't help that there's only 2 newcomers to that game too.
And
Which ones
they're
are they?
sad.
And they're the most interchangeable characters, Taven and Dagon. They look exactly the same on that character select.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and they're literally
I
right
think
next
Dagon
to
has a
most-
necklace. That's it.
And the fact that they're like right next to the actual main attraction why most people even bought this fucking game, which was the creative character.
Which is even as good as Soul Calibur's.
Yeah, and it's also weird because like all these created characters had to have these separate profiles that also had to have fucking
Oh, yeah, the Mortal Kombat. It was stupid that Mortal Kombat Deception also had that password system because there was no character creator in that game also.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, why is there passwords? Like everyone's just gonna have it be like the X button.
Yeah, and it's also like, it's also like only one character per profile for some fucking reason as well. Like, just make a list. Come on, man. Even Street Fighter EX 3 had this figured out, and no one talks about that one.
Figured out where like Soul Calibur 3, you can have like 10 characters on a memory card.
Yeah.
Bet they take a lot of space though. Or a lot of blocks because we can't use the metric system. Remember, I'm joking, of course.
I feel like ever since Street Fighter like moved on from Third Strike, they have found a better ratio in terms of returning and new. Like, I want to say, like, let's talk about Street Fighter 4 Vanilla's roster.
Oh, yeah,
Wasn't
Street
it,
Fighter
like,
4 Vanilla's
90%?
roster was like, I know that obviously that brings back weird feelings since when was the last time people ever thought about Vanilla?
I haven't.
Vanilla 5 had like what, 6 newcomers?
No, like Vanilla 4. I'm talking
Yeah,
about Vanilla.
That's what I say, Vanilla 4. Vanilla 4 is what I meant to say. Vanilla 4.
Yeah, I think it had like 6 newcomers.
Yeah,
in
right.
There had like
you had
Viper,
You had
Abel.
C-Viper, you had Seth, you had Rufus, you had
El Fuerte.
Abel, you had Goken, then you had Seth. Yeah, it's 6 newcomers.
Yeah,
Fuerte is the best.
and meanwhile on the returning roster, you had like a lot of Street Fighter 2 returnees, and
Mhm.
also Alpha with Dan and
Dan,
Sakura.
Sakura, and Rose.
Yeah,
And you had 2 new challengers. You had Fei Long and Cammy.
Wasn't Gen also Alpha?
Yeah, again.
yeah,
Gen-
yeah.
Hey,
He wasn't.
Gen 1.
Dan
Hey,
wasn't.
hey, remind
he
me,
was the
when
only
did-
returning Street Fighter 1 character?
When did DJ come back? Was he Vanilla
Came back in
4?
Super.
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 No, he was Super.
Okay. Which also added Yun and Yang.
No,
I believe.
That was Arcade Edition.
Arcade Edition, okay.
Man, this isn't confusing at all.
But yeah, like
When Street Fighter
base-
4 has a billion versions.
Anyway.
yeah, Street Fighter 4 has like 4 has 4 different versions. Funny enough, there was a Vanilla, Super.
I remember how they
Arcade
did it too.
Edition,
You
and
had to
Ultra.
buy them. It's not like the upgrades for 5 where it was just like, oh, just buy this $20 DLC. Nah, dude, you had to buy these whole ass games.
Let's let him finish. That way we're on topic.
We
Yeah,
still are. I just wanted to talk about that. You had to buy a whole ass new game.
We'll get to that part in a bit. Let him finish.
No, like I do get what you mean. I think only Ultra was the one that you could just
Yeah,
upgrade.
Ultra you could upgrade, but that was the only one.
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
But,
if you
yeah,
add
like,
Super, you could buy
you had,
Arcade
like,
Edition.
You had like 6 newcomers for Vanilla, and like I think in total Street Fighter 4 had like let me get a good look at the character select so I can get my numbers accurate here.
Street Fighter 4 had Vanilla Street Fighter 4 had 25 characters.
That's an odd number. Yeah, like you had.
Because of Seth.
Oh yeah, because one of them took.
Sorry.
Because one of the slots was just the random select.
Yeah.
Sorry, I choked on my drink.
Anyway, I'm gonna pull up the Super Street Fighter 2 characters, the Super Street Fighter 4 character select.
I think only like 2, and yeah, like only like it was also good that they had like separate out, like you had a Street Fighter, you had like Cammy and Fei Long sitting next to each other. You had Akuma and Goken next to each other at the top right.
And then you had the alpha characters at the bottom.
Yeah, and the four like non-boss newcomers next to each other, and also the Shadowloo 4.
Yeah, 4 kings.
Which
But
was
yeah,
kind of a
like,
neat way to
25
organize it.
Yeah, 25 character. 25 new characters. Fuck. 25 characters, 6 were new, so that's like a ratio of like
It's
Well,
a
not a
80-20. It's an 80-20 because you had
yeah, it's an 80-20. So I guess fuck. That would
to be
go
fair
back.
though, to be fair, a lot of people just wanted the Street Fighter 2 cast route back really bad.
Yeah.
And this was a good way to show, hey, we're just gonna bring Street Fighter back. We just want to bring Street Fighter back. This is the most surefire way to do it.
And that makes sense for like a marketing after
Cue that cheesy ass
like,
intro.
keep in mind also Street Fighter's Street Fighter was like on hiatus for a while too.
Uh-huh.
I guess the dark age, as Capcom fighters would like to call it.
Fighting Evolution,
yeah.
anybody?
Then you had Super Street Fighter 4
Fuck
after
off.
that.
Hop on
How
Fighting
dare you
Evolution.
curse me with that game in my presence?
Yeah, hop on
Anyway.
Fighting Evolution.
And anyway, then you had like Super Street Fighter 4, which I'm looking at this. They added in Dudley, Makoto, and Ibuki. This added in.
Which gave us DeCapri.
No,
that was
I'm getting there. We're gonna get there when we get there.
Yeah, because it's just like, hey guys, we
No,
heard you
no,
wanted a
hey,
last minute
we're
new
gonna get there
character.
when we get there. Give me a bit. Anyway, so Super Street Fighter 4 gave us Ibuki, Makoto, Dudley.
Dudley is fantastic. I wish.
Indeed he is. Indeed he
Dudley,
is.
the guy, the main of everyone who rocks a fedora.
Hey, I like him.
Anyway, let's see. So we had
My
Ibuki.
point exactly. I'm sorry.
Fedoras are
Oh, guys,
disgusting.
I'm losing my
Walk-
fucking
you walked
concentration
into
here.
that.
Let's see. Ibuki, Makoto, Dudley, T-Hawk, Adon, and Guy, Cody. Yeah, I think those are them.
Khan.
Yeah. And then the two newcomers were Hakan and Juri Han.
Hakan
Hakan.
is. I want him to come
Yes,
back.
Hakan's the
He's
best.
so fun.
Like it, time
Hey,
to put-
I named and
They added two newcomers for Super 4, which were Juri Han and Hakan, and they had 6 returning characters. Again, not bad. It was cool to have everyone come back there.
And also, Juri was the first ever Korean character that they ever introduced
Oh, yeah.
into the Street
And she's
Fighter.
like also like the first like another like it's like let's have an evil female character too. And again, Juri was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Sometimes she keeps flipping from being evil to just straight up fucking crazy.
She's
She just
she's
does
crazy,
whatever the fuck she
crazy, but
wants.
she's just
does
more
what
like
she wants, yeah.
she just simply has a lot of people on her shit list.
But I also want to like I also just want to like say that I want to bring Juri back up later because I also want to bring up another interesting like consideration for like roster selects.
Oh, Anyway, and then there was Arcade Edition, which brought in 2 newcomers and no 1 newcomer, 3 new returning characters. Which the returning characters were Evil Ryu, Yun, and Yang, and then we had Oni, who was like a what if for Akuma. Then there was Ultra Street Fighter 4, which was pretty much them just reusing assets from Cross Second. They're like, hey, Cross Second didn't do too well. Let's just dump Rolento, Elena, and Poison. And 4 Cross Second characters, which were Elena, Hugo, Poison, and Rolento. And then they were like hyping up this newcomer, like, oh, this is a character that's never been in a Street Fighter before. And then it's DeCapri, which caused the entire internet to like collapse in on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a Peggle 2 moment. Cammy 2!
It helps that the hate for DeCapri subsided when people found out, oh, he plays nothing like Cammy. She's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people saw that, and that was the fucking Peggle incident. Roughly the same year, too.
It didn't help that there were like other characters people still wanted to come back.
That was roughly
Yeah,
the same year as well, which
Yeah,
kills
if
me.
anything, DeCapri does play more like an alternate Vega than
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Cammy's-
yeah.
Like DeCapri's weird. She's a rushdown that's a charge character.
So, kind of like how Balrog is in 5.
Balrog's always been.
Balrog's always been that way. What are you talking about?
But he's a charge character primarily.
Yeah, he's always been a charge character, and but the thing is DeCapri has more rushdown attacks.
Ah, okay.
Like Balrog's always been like a rushdown character. The thing with Balrog though is
I was just
like, he
I
tended
was just trying to
have-
think of somebody similar.
Okay, but like, okay, let me finish. But the main difference is Balrog at least had like more pokes to his attacks. I feel.
Yeah.
Whereas with DeCapri, she was like all in rush down, and her health was garbage.
Balrog's just brute force.
Yeah, like and that's the thing too. DeCapri can't take a hit.
Yeah, Balrog can armor through stuff. Like he can take a hit.
Yeah.
All right, so
And then, like, but now looking at the final Street Fighter 4 roster as an Ultra, we had, let's see, I am going to go to the characters page on TV tropes because it lists like where each character debuted in Street Fighter.
I feel like there's like 8 newcomers in total.
Yeah, like
There's
that-
45 code characters in total, and 8
Yeah,
of them
Oh,
are
yeah,
okay,
12,
newcomers.
10
So
newcomers.
so anyway, let me do the math. 6 newcomers in Vanilla, 2
Dude.
newcomers in Super 4, 1 newcomer in Arcade Edition. So that is a total of 9. And then there was Ultra 2, and with Ultra 4, there was 2 news because Poison's technically a newcomer in that game too. So you have a total of
Yeah.
11 new characters, and
That means
I-
34 are returning.
yeah, 34 returning. Overall, kind of small, but again, not too bad. And again, this was for Street Fighter 4. And considering these are all 3D models, not bad.
And the art style having the brushstrokes kind of looking kind of comic/manga-ish is really cool.
Oh, totally, I agree.
But can I tell y'all one thing about that game though? You just heard him right. 45 characters total in Ultra. Yeah, if I walk up to a tournament and some dude just confidently hits random, I'm leaving.
Someone decides to play Tekken Tag Tournament 2 with you and they pick Mokujin.
Oh, fuck.
That's how you know they're for
No, seriously.
Mokujin, he switches to another character too.
No, seriously. Like if I'm playing Ultra 4 at like a local tournament or some shit, and the dude picks random, I'm like, I'm out.
All right, now let's get back to the. Now, anyway, now time to do Street Fighter 5. So Street Fighter 5, I'm pulling up the. No, I don't want to buy a copy. I already own the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
What-
the second copy.
Everyone has the game,
No.
so 11 is picked.
We're not getting context about this. Next podcast. So, Jesse, how are you doing with your 60 new copies?
Anyway, where is a vanilla? Oh, damn.
Let's just look up the total
okay.
and do that.
I'm doing. Okay, so I pulled up a roster of Vanilla Select. So
Vanilla
Select,
Select.
we
That
had-
sounds like a beer.
So Vanilla Select, for Vanilla 5, we had Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Karen, Charlie, Bison, Birdie, Mika.
Would he technically be considered a new character since he was
Oh, we're
under
not
an
talking
alias?
No, I let me finish this real quick.
I think I'm a bow out,
we're
actually.
talking about the roster. So
Good.
looking at this roster, we had 6 returnings, 4 newcomers for the base roster. The 4
So,
newcomers being Rashid. Let's see, Rashid, Nakali, Fong, and forgot
Oh,
the-
SF5 and SF4 have the same amount of total characters now.
and Street Fighter 5 started with a
Doesn't
base
feel like
roster
it.
of 60 characters. However, some of the returning characters hadn't been in a Street Fighter game since the Alpha series. So we got to see Arbika come back, we got to see Carrion come back,
got
we
to
saw
see
Nash come
Charlie.
back, and Birdie.
You
And,
mean
the characters
Nash.
and some of the characters were also revamped for Street Fighter 5 too. So Bison got some Alpha tools back. Vega was just Shadow, and let's just be real, Vega sucks at 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe most of the other characters were mostly retained. Oh yeah, Zangief was nerfed hard, but now he's viable from what I've heard. Correct me if I am wrong on that.
He seems okay.
Nah, I think
though
he's
our-
still pretty bad.
I really don't
What
know.
I've seen.
he seems okay, but definitely the removal of Green
No,
Hand
the
hurt him
removal-
bad.
Just banishing flat.
Sorry,
Yeah,
what?
They really should have never removed that
They should
move.
have not removed that. Anyway, Street Fighter 5 Character Select Season 1. Season 1 was... Okay, so Season 1's DLC characters. So Season 1 had 6 DLC characters. So we got Alex, Guile, Ibuki, Balrog, Jury, Urien. They were all returning characters. And outside of... And I think only 2 of them had not been in a game since 3, which were Alex and Urien. Because Guile, Ibuki, Balrog, and Jury were in Street Fighter 4.
You forgot Gil.
No, I'm getting to that. I'm talking about Season 1 for now.
I
Now,
already got the totals.
Season 2 was all newcomers barring Akuma. So you had Akuma, Colleen, and Abigail, Manette, and Zeku.
You
5
forgot my
newcomers-
bull? Forget my bull.
Wait, I'm sorry, Cody?
Cedric,
You forgot the cookies, Leon.
I'm getting to
Cedric,
Street Season 3. Seriously, like, guys, seriously, calm down.
Cedric,
forgot
you hurt
my
him that
boy.
bad?
So Season 2 had 6 characters, 5 of which were newcomers. So that brings up the newcomer total to 9. So we have 9 newcomers. Now, season 3, we had Sakura, Blanca, Falk, Cody, G, Sagat. Falk and G were newcomers, so that brings up the total newcomers to 11. Now, what was season 4 again? Season 4 was
G.
Kage,
G,
Ihana,
Mc-
Poison,
G,
and
seriously,
Lucia.
let's get back to this. So we had Seth, Lucia, Poison, Gil, Honda, and Kage. So 2 newcomers.
Wait,
So
no.
That brings up the
Kage was basically just evil Ryu
Well,
reskinned.
yeah, but Kage's technically a newcomer.
You
So
said
we're going by technicality for this. That brings up newcomers to 13.
Then that means Charlie technically counts as one
No,
because he's
Charlie's
under an
not a
alias.
newcomer 'cause he's still Nash.
that's his name still.
Yeah,
He's
Charlie Nash is his full
Kage's
name.
Evil Ryu because he's not Ryu himself. And Street Fighter 5, we have for our newcomers, we have Akira and Luke. So that brings up our total amount of newcomers to, and if you count 11, that's 3 newcomers, and we had 13 newcomers, 16 newcomers. And Street Fighter 5 has a total of
45 characters. And if you take that, that means we have 29 returning and 16 new.
let's see, Street Fighter 5 had, how many characters are there in Street Fighter 5 total?
Actually, yeah, it would be because
I'm
46 with
really
11,
trying
it would be 30.
Hang on. Let's really,
I already got the math done, sir. I'm sitting right in front of it.
total characters for Street Fighter 5, they're always, okay.
He
Because
wants
I'm
to
not
feel
counting
smart.
11 in my calculations. Because 11 is basically just random stuff.
11's Mokujin. He counts because he's Mokujin.
All right, so then it
He
would
wants
be
to feel
30
smart.
returning.
Let him. We should probably switch off away from Street Fighter. Stagnate.
Okay, Street Fighter 5.
Let's move away. Okay.
What is 46 minus 16?
Okay, that's 46 total character. I was trying to get a total character number.
Oh my god, you're still on this?
46 minus 16, that would be 30 new. That would
I
be
wonder
30
who gets
returning
something
characters.
fucking eat.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
You
No, I'm trying to get
messed
a
us
total
talking
number,
about
okay?
Vega.
Everyone's just simply talking, and I'm getting distracted here.
I'm just giving you information.
He was telling
I'm
you.
trying to look this information up on my own. I'm getting fucking everyone feeding me info.
He was just
Anyway.
one guy.
We got this now, so we got this solved. Okay.
Okay, let's move on from
Let's
Street
move on.
Fighter so that we don't get we don't
Well,
get one
I,
trick
we, felt
pony.
we felt Street Fighter 5 did a good job with the balance, though, right?
Yeah, it definitely did a much. It actually tried to
Nah,
do more
the Street
things.
Fighter 5 balance was kind
No,
of all
we're
over
talking
the
about
place.
balance of newcomers and veterans.
Oh.
We're not talking competitive balance.
Oh, okay.
Considering there was like entire seasons based on newcomers and
Yeah, like we had
and
season
then
2 of newcomers.
mixes of the two.
And even then, like most of the ones that the only one that didn't introduce any newcomers at all of season 1,
Yeah.
which was fine. Again, like it's like, hey, season 1's a good way to go. Hey, here's some characters that weren't able to make it in time.
Yeah,
Well-
but that's how Street Fighter 1, that's how Street Fighter, like, that series developed through, like, their ratios of newcomers to returning characters. Like, it's very
Ratio.
fluctuation. It's very fluctuation that 3 was probably their most adventurous attempt, but it didn't exactly go well in a marketing standpoint, and thus games after that kind of had to take more reserved routes in order to
Like, Street
introduce
Fighter 4 was like
people.
really reserved how they did newcomers. And then Street Fighter 5 was a bit more willing to be adventurous, especially because with DLC, it's like, hey, we could add more characters with DLC.
That
Could.
being said, moving away from Street Fighter, we do have examples of where this has technically worked out. Case in point, Tekken 3.
Tekken 3 is a
Yes.
very good example, actually.
Yes.
Well, we're still on 346 consecutive hours, all because of one little topic who won't let me stop.
So, yeah, Jesse's just like, wait a second. I need to triple check my math.
Tekken 3. I wanted to do that for the ratio, but anyway, Tekken 3 is a good example where Tekken 3, I believe, was a good half and half.
Yeah.
Like, Tekken 3 had, 25 characters?
Oh god, here comes the math.
No, I'm looking on Wikipedia. Let's see. Tekken 3's returning characters were Anna Williams, Heihachi, Lei Wulong, Nino Williams, Paul Phoenix, and Yoshimitsu. And most of them were successors, but a good amount of them also were successors or students of previous characters. You had King 2, you had Forest Law, just played similarly. So yeah, it's just half and half.
Yeah.
There's only 6 returning characters, and the rest of them were newcomers.
But most of the newcomers are like Gunjack, which is just another Jack robot, or King 2, which is just King but 2.
And then
What about also? I mean, wait, King 2 was like a was like a base roster character for like.
Yeah, he's base roster.
Yeah.
He's base
Anyways,
roster
like, and also, but anyway, like Tekken 3, like it has a nice ratio of newcomers. Like, it also helped that a lot of them were like,
again, they
like
were
somehow this was like really early in the years where like people were like Tekken kind of like did flirt with like a lot of
1 and 2 were like popular games, but like Tekken 3 is like the game where like a lot of people go, Tekken went from good to holy shit, this is like the pinnacle of 3D fighting. Because Tekken 3 introduced the side steps. And again, like Tekken 3 sold like 8 million copies on the PlayStation, whereas like Tekken 2 sold I think 5.
Yeah, and this was like around the time where Tekken was starting to like really like find its like a footing.
Finding its footing, yeah.
And then that also like kind of translated into Tekken tag tournaments, where like a lot of these characters basically got like their like innovation, where like you had character like say Tekken. We know we mentioned how like a lot of characters in like Soul Calibur 5 were like replacements or successors to characters that didn't come back, and the main problem was there were too many of that case in point moments. However, in Tekken 3, they kind of did this, but they made it in a way that these characters still felt unique to themselves.
Oh yeah, like
Granted,
Hwoarang to Bayek, I think is a very good example.
yeah,
Like,
and also
Bayek when like Tekken 2 was just a generic evil kung fu dude to compare to like he was just the traditional like arrogant martial artist. Like he attacked Law's dojo and was like, "Yo, fight me," and he was very confident in his taekwondo. Like just stock like arrogant kung fu guy characterization.
yeah, and we didn't get really like the clear difference between Jin and Kazuya until Tekken Tag Tournament. But like Jin still felt different in comparison to like Kazuya, because Kazuya didn't exactly have his like main unique features like fleshed out up until he came back after
It also helped that with Tekken 3 in Tekken 2, Kazuya fucking died.
Allegedly.
Well, he was dropped in a volcano. It was more he died, but he was just brought back to life with science.
He got better.
Yeah, he just got better in Tekken 4, but so it was like, but originally they were like willing to have that death stick in Tekken 3.
Yeah.
That's how fans were like, "Oh, bring Kazuya back." And then the lore got bad, but that's another
And
topic.
then the lore didn't get completely bad until 6.
Yeah, the lore didn't get really
I
bad.
won't die on that hill.
Yeah, I agree on that. The lore just became like unsalvageable at that point. 4 at least was interesting, but anyway. And again, Tekken 3, like so going back to that. So for Hwoarang, Bayek's successor, Hwoarang, yeah, he was a bit arrogant, but he was very hot-blooded and he was cool. And he
Motorcycle.
was like also promoted as Jin's rival.
Motorcycles are cool.
Like Hwoarang was like, he wasn't just simply just an arrogant, like a martial artist that was arrogant in his own skills. He was arrogant, but because he had a reason to be. He was damn good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had like background as like a delinquent in a biker gang and was Jin's rival.
And uniquely, they actually spent a good time focusing on their rivalry up until 6, where like 3 and 5 kind of showed Jin's like humanity still being intact despite the Devil Jin kicking in and almost consuming him, like how it basically consumed Kazuya himself.
Not to mention the Tekken 4 ending. You ain't got one? Well, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, the only game where Jin actually speaks English.
There's no reason to fight.
Kind of reminds me of the anime episode of Futurama where they were just like, well, they're aliens from another planet, so we can assume that they all speak English like us.
No, he was just straight up speaking English. Like, it was Ishin Chiba speaking English, even though Jin spoke Japanese in all the other endings.
Kind of like, kind of like Geese and Seven.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, this case is from America.
So anyway, about character.
Anyway.
Okay, ratios.
On topic.
Tekken 3 had a good case of, like, you know, a good balance. And then Tekken 4 also added a bunch of cool newcomers, too. We had Craig Marduk, we had Steve Fox, we had Chrissy Montiero.
And Craig Marduk was that late? Wow.
Yeah, Craig Marduk was Tekken 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't. Well, but just so like we actually have like more variety examples. Probably don't want to stick too long in just one series like we did with Street Fighter.
Tekken, because mostly Tekken's always had a good case. So like when they
like, what was the ratio of EX?
Oh, Street Fighter EX?
Yeah, what was the ratio of that?
half and half.
Yeah, half and half, because Street Fighter EX was like the first game. It was half and half, but like there was still like obviously the whole jarring idea that like Street Fighter in 3D, but not really played 3D.
Multi-directional Demon Rush.
Anyway.
Yeah, like I feel like what held back EX was the fact that people
People
the
just thought it
transition.
was gonna be a shitty jump to 3D when in reality it was just 2.5D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2.5D, and people weren't ready for it. And plus, Capcom weren't the ones developing it. It was actually
Alright.
Eureka.
And they make damn good fighting games, I must say.
Yes, they
No,
do.
yeah.
I think the one fighting game that like completely can avoid this discussion is Virtual Fighter, because they've only had to remove one character, and that was like Virtual Fighter 4.
Taka Harashi.
Because, like,
Yeah.
And that's because like Taka could not like work in Virtual Fighter 4's engine.
Yeah, it's like that one joke. It's just like, it's like everyone is here. Looks at all the Virtua Fighter games. Eat your heart out, Sakurai.
It also helps that like Virtual Fighter, like when they add new characters, it's only like 2 characters per game, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually want to consider like something that's also very interesting, which may sound like hot takes, but like I also want to talk about like a very certain phenomenon that does happen when it comes to characters returning, and it's going to be something that like you guys have probably heard of, but I want you to wait until I finish talking about it before like you jump in, okay?
Okay.
The phenomenon of Bakken mains.
Biken?
Oh, Biken mains.
Yeah, Bakken main. So
You better
there's
be going somewhere with this.
yeah, okay, so
Somewhere.
here's the topic with like the returning characters. Like, obviously, when you do a returning character, the main selling point with them is that they are that not only are they an interesting pick, they're also very popular among a select number of people that would actually make people go, "Oh, yes, I would definitely play this game now." Bakken was and for Revelator 2, one of the main drawing points of like returning characters was Bakken being playable in the upgrade for Revelator Rev 2.
And I did.
Yes, but
You
like
did.
I do want to bring up like, but Bakken also is like in a very interesting like pool of phenomenons, because Bakken share. When I say a Bakken main, usually when I talk about
It's
it's
Biken, not
people that-
Bakken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Biken.
Bakken.
It's killing me the
Here's
way you
sorry.
pronounce it.
Sorry, I am a southern.
Anyway,
black
go
man.
with what you're saying.
Yeah. When Bakken mains are basically usually referred to people that say they will main Bakken, but usually they completely. It's usually like they're newcomers to the character and realize she does not play at all what her design suggests plays as, because
I
like No, I'm not. I'm not including people that like actually take time.
We're
to
not including
prepare. I
people that
respect
know
those
how to make it
people.
work.
I'm
We're
not,
talking
I'm not
about people-
talking. I'm not talking about that though. Like, I don't think the problem was her design though.
No, I'm not
No,
focusing
let
on
him
their
finish,
design.
let him finish.
Like, let me finish.
I'm trying to, but this.
What he's saying is that like her design implies, oh, she's a rushdown instead of someone that requires you to be mostly blocking and using her parries.
I don't. I'm sorry. Like, she does not look like a pure rushdown character to me.
Well, that's I know,
because
but
you know
that's
how
like
to play her.
subjective. But like objectively, a lot of people did come to this conclusion when like she returned to Rev 2 and
That's because most people they barely play Guilty Gear
Yeah.
anyway.
exactly.
That is
Again,
what I'm
let
saying.
me finish, and I'll get to the overall point of
trying.
what I'm getting
Let
at.
him finish. You're not trying hard enough.
Because Baiken is not my end point of my discussion here.
Yeah. So
She's
I'll-
only one example of the phenomenon that is some returning characters returning and being popular, but also having the polarizing idea that just because they're returning doesn't mean everyone is. Just because they're returning and they gain interest doesn't mean that people will automatically end up playing them.
Kind of like Alex.
Alex is also an example, but I feel like
I feel
there's something else regarding
Cap, I
Alex.
feel so you're getting
I
kind of like.
want to say Alex, I feel like is more of a debatable case, but that's mainly because like Alex is like a much easier character to grasp.
Now, let me bring up a second character that also kind of has a similar effect, but was actually a newcomer to her series, Juri Han. Juri Han was like one of the most popular breakout characters, like I would say
In
Super Street Fighter 4 when she came out.
Definitely like one of the most popular characters. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the most breakout characters that ever came out of Street Fighter 4 in general, I might say. But
I think a lot of people actually played her in 4.
Yeah.
yeah,
We're
people played her
getting to
before,
that. We're
but
getting
she
to that.
act-
Let him
but
finish.
like she was a very unique character to the series, considering how her play style actually played in comparison to like most characters. She had a very unique system. Like, I want to say similar to like Reverse Edge. Is that accurate? Reverse Edge.
I don't
Anyway,
think
go
that-
on.
Yeah, basically, Juri was a very unique character to play, and basically, it's very not newcomer friendly, despite the fact that her design and characterization was like so popular with people that automatically people would want to play as her, despite the advancedness. And when she came back for Street Fighter V, the same thing kind of happened, except they changed how she played in Street Fighter V, where now all of her specials had to.
They made her garbage in 5. I'm gonna be honest.
Nay.
Anyway, let him
Yeah.
let him finish that. He's getting to that.
No. That's I'll allow that chip in because they were getting my point across.
Yeah.
Where they
like,
basically in 5 she did get
so
changed.
cursed in that game.
Did get changed to where like even if she was a difficult character to play at 5, now you have a whole new thing to worry about that's unique and not exactly what you're used to in terms of Street Fighter based gameplay. So, and the fact that also she kind of ended up low tier, yes, this is a fantastic character addition, but at the same time, was it really worth it if many people realize that this is gonna be brutal to play as? And now here's my third example of the phenomenon, and this one's actually going to hurt me a lot, considering for the upcoming game release,
Considering
King of
what?
Fighters on
You
Hell.
You cut out.
Yeah, a good chunk of that got cut out.
Go and repeat that.
Okay, well, this third example is going to be something that's actually going to hurt me to admit this, since I'm actually hoping for her return in King of
Angel?
Fighters 15
Angel?
on Hell.
Yeah, on hell.
So let's talk about On Hell. Basically, On Hell is just hits all. Since it's also like a personal thing, that On Hell just basically checked all the boxes for me. Not only is like the traditional like
Do I need to get the bad out?
Am I still cutting out?
No. Do I need to get the bat out?
Calm your shit. Calm your shit. I'm getting to the point.
Yeah.
Traditional. Not only is it obviously like the high quality SNK girls, thumbs up, but also a great like love letter to like pro wrestling in general, since she basically models her whole like shtick after Dwayne the Rock Johnson with the people's punches, the people's elbow, and also a rock bottom as her counter super. But Angel also suffers from the fact that she is a very hard character to master due to her chain like chain system of things. And I'm not talking about Rekka chain, but just
Yeah, I know how Angel's whole thing works.
Yeah,
It's like she has
yeah.
she has like a bunch of command, a bunch of like command moves that like are only unique to her for like the entire roster.
exactly, meaning that you can't even compare her to anyone else to like ease yourself into learning her. She's completely unique to the roster. She's completely unique in terms of roster additions, and despite the fact that she's one of the more popular characters from the NES saga, despite only ever being like canonically playable in like
2001.
2001 and being added in 2002 because that was basically the Oblivion match where
Mhm.
everyone from the saga and then some were playable for. Basically, Angel was like this very. It's like I want to say KOF's big case of, hey, we actually have this underrated popular character. However, it doesn't seem like people want to or like not many people actually play her since due to how unique she is, which other than say the whole Nest story being like, hard to bring characters back other than the K-Dash crew since they were like the main story focus. It's hard to like say why they were like think to like bring her back as a guaranteed return until like King of Fighters 14. Like she's not like a case scenario no Mai no buy, because Mai not only is she hella popular but she's not difficult to play as, all things considered. She's very maneuverable, and her commands are pretty. And she has a lot of universal.
Careful with your
similar
wording there,
commands
mister.
to how? Sorry, say again.
Careful with your wording there, mister. Your hoarding is showing.
Hey. I only said she was popular. I just said she was.
Anyway.
And she had like similar commands to like how everyone else did, to like help ease the idea. Like she has a projectile zoning tool, lots of maneuvering around the stage since she is a fast, agile character. Like so, like Mai was like usually like one of those. Please be. She has to be in this game, or else I'm going to be less interested, because not only was she popular, but you can actually see people playing as her in like a 3v3 game.
Yeah, because like Mai's very easy to pick up, and like in a lot of, isn't like she also like consistently top tier in a lot of the games too.
Usually, I think, but like the same can't be same for Angel because she is very difficult to master, and like rarely do you ever see her actually be used in like many notable teams. Due to the fact that King of Fighters has like, it was the pioneer. I think I would want to say the pioneer of the 3 system. Like,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, but also like compared to like say Marvel or DBZ, the whole idea of like anchoring or point characters is very more crucial because you can't tag out.
You like King of Fighters is like you want to have like battery, middle, anchor.
Yeah. So like if you actually see someone actually play Angel, you either know two things. Either this person either this person's either this person's dedicated to playing this character because they like her, or oh fuck, this person might actually know how to play her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are like the three things where like just because a character returns because they're popular, doesn't necessarily mean that they're always like they always should be like a priority in terms of picking who comes back. Like
Ooh, speaking of SNK, I know an example that's the exact opposite of that. Apparently SNK
Oh,
really
okay.
really loves Duck King, but he hardly ever shows up.
Anything to plug Doug King.
No, no, seriously, that's like the
I'm not gonna lie.
no, seriously, that's like the exact opposite example. The SNK loves him.
But anyway, I think a good example, like building up to what Randy's saying, I think Molina's a very good example of that also.
Oh yeah, the amount of people.
right, I
Mm,
almost forgot about that.
God.
Molina would have been a better choice to use instead of Biken, personally.
I don't know anybody that uses her either. When I used to do
Like,
11.
Biken, I've actually seen more genuine Biken mains than I have seen Molina mains. I'll say that.
But yeah.
I've seen more.
But I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of people that try and pick up Beckham but don't play her.
Yeah, but
I
I've
mean,
seen
to be
people.
fair, I can make the same argument with like Ramlethal and like,
Dude, I'm not
X-Star.
talking about you. Goodness, I don't know why you
Me?
take this so personally.
Me?
What?
No,
Like-
Round the Fall is actually an option, but it's
Alright,
just that people
All right,
do
fuck,
play.
fuck
it,
this.
just they
I'm
don't
okay. I'm
play
tired of this. If me trying to make an example of this is just going to lead to this shit, I'm done. God damn.
What? No, I don't mean it like
Calm down,
that.
everyone. Let's settle down, everybody.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
out.
Oh, he left.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is getting late too.
And he was taking
I
like
mean-
the bike and stuff kind of personally, which I don't understand where any of that was coming from.
I wasn't even trying to.
There we go.
Okay.
But anyway, going back to the Molina thing, like even when I played like recent 11 again, I never hardly saw anybody using her.
Yeah, like no one. I have never seen anyone pick up Molina whatsoever in 11.
Mm-hmm. What was she ever popular?
Yeah, Molina's a very consistently popular character.
Well, no,
But
well, not
Mortal Kombat
popularity,
one of
like
those-
use. Like,
What?
sorry.
I don't. Oh, as far as use, I really don't know. I want to say, like, I feel like when it comes to classic Mortal Kombat, it's really hard to say with Mortal Kombat because like Mortal Kombat has never been like competitive till like 9.
Okay.
I did not follow 9 competitively whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really follow Mortal Kombat competitively, so it's really hard for me to say. But I feel like with 11, it's really been apparent that a lot of people just wanted Melina to be in the roster, but not anyone really played her.
Which is a shame because you actually, even though that it did take a long time for them to actually consider her, they actually did put a lot of like nice actual characterization back into her. Like the
Totally.
fact that it actually,
There's a lot of like really good characterization in general.
yeah, but like the fact that Melina can just like do a perfect Kitana voice thing, just a reminder that oh yeah, she was meant to be a fucking clone of her. It should make sense that she's able to sound exactly.
Saves on
And,
voice acting.
No, it's like I feel like honestly, Mortal Kombat has a tendency to do that a lot. Like a lot of
Yeah.
fans typically are like, "Oh, where's Jade?" It's like because I remember like I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a channel called Gaming Sins. Basically, they're just cinema sins for gaming. But I remember there was a video that was everything wrong with Mortal Kombat X. I saw from True Underdog Gaming. I think it was his channel name.
Yeah, I follow him on Twitch.
Yeah. So he did a video that debunked that he did a video that did a good job debunking it. And like, because Gaming Sins was like, "Well, where's Jade?" And he brought up actual data backing up like his claim. Is like, "Well, here's the thing: Jade actually had very low player numbers if you go by the online data for Mortal Kombat 9, where he pulled up that only 9% of actual players picked Jade."
Jeez, that's way less than I thought with its cell numbers.
Yeah, that should say like how little people actually played Jade in that game. And Jade's a very popular Mortal Kombat character.
Remember when? Nah, that's a side tap.
It's honestly really weird because when I played Mortal Kombat 9, I actually did play Jade sometimes. So it's kind of funny to find out that she was actually played that little, like with online statistics.
Apparently, people don't like the idea of dancing as a victory pose.
But again, at the same time, you know, this was Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really play 9 a whole lot online. It was more of a game that me and my buddies just screwed around with.
Yeah, and 9 was the more perfectly executed of, hey, 1 through 3 people are back, and it actually worked
It
out.
also helps that Mortal Kombat newcomers, most of them suck. Except for Suhao, he's great.
Cable was cool.
Would you fuck off?
I will not stop.
Cable is cool.
No, Cabal's 3. Cabal's 3.
He's a newcomer though.
Yep. No, I'm talking newcomers after 3 explicitly.
Quan
Bo-
Chi.
Dude,
Quan Chi is an exception. Quan Chi also debuted in the cartoon, let's be real.
Ferritor is a neat idea.
No, I'm talking before X newcomers.
What era are we working with?
4-9.
I got my head
4-9.
out. I'm tired.
The PS2 era. PS2 era.
Yeah.
PS2 era Mortal Kombat newcomers were bad.
Bo Rai Cho was awesome.
And it took till X for him to be cool.
The others had to go to sleep, so I guess we're continuing on.
We're here. We're almost finished anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I do want to say that yeah, Melina was also case because obviously Melina was. I want to say that also Melina, since she was like a big story character in like MKX, got killed off, and even though she got killed off, there was always that idea that like, wait a minute, she wasn't the only person from the flesh pits from Shang Tsung. Or something like that. That was like one of the main theories. And then it was like MK11's whole time travel shit. So people even got more saying that there is no excuse.
Honestly, I would have loved Ed Boon to stick to his guns and go, oh, no, Melina, here's Suhao instead.
But he hates him too.
But it would
He hates him
have been
more.
funny to spite the Melina fans. It would have been funny.
But I hope that you never go to that timeline.
I will main Suhao. and
I
be
need
the
to
best
clip that
player.
audio and just email it to Ed Boon.
Yeah, I will mail that to Ed Boon. I have tweeted at him to get Suhao.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, me and Dustin have tweeted at him several times.
You fucking madman.
Oh man, that means we'll probably never get a tour of NetherRealm Studio if we get big.
yeah, just banned from association.
I want to tour NetherRealm. Fuck that.
I
Like,
would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, just
NetherRealm would be cool, but Capcom would be cooler.
Can't afford to go to Japan.
It's all paid expenses.
No, it won't.
Wait,
A lot
why
of this
the
crap.
fuck would Capcom paid expense us?
Because we're special.
You are literally someone who wants Suhao in a Mortal Kombat game.
No,
Capcom's up in everything.
not at this point. They're in collaboration with them to get Suhao in Street Fighter.
And he has like dictator's powers. But anyway, like back to the Mortal Kombat stuff. But yeah, most of the PS2 era was filled with bad newcomers, and 4. Like, I think because let's be honest, Shinnok and Quan Chi, if we're going game debut, they debuted in Mythologies first, which also wasn't very good. But Shinnok and Quan Chi were cool newcomers.
Uh-huh.
I guess Tanya was also like a.
Tanya was like the only good newcomer to come from 4.
Are we counting
because
meat?
4 had Kai, who was just Liu Kang's friend, but he wasn't cool. Like he was just some generic schmuck. You had Jarek,
American Liu Kang.
you had Jarek, who was just Kano without the laser eye.
Oh yeah,
fatality.
down to that.
Like he was just straight up a moveset clone of Kano, but they just
Wait,
swapped.
we also. You said when did Fujin get debuted?
Fujin was Mythologies.
Yeah.
Fujin was fine, but again, he debuted in Mythologies first, so he technically doesn't count in 4.
I'm so surprised they allowed Tremor to finally get into a
Oh,
game.
Tremor in X was cool. Tremor in X was. It helps that everyone wanted Tremor to come back because he was actually a cool character, just in a shitty game. But like, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, the only good newcomers that came out of Deadly Alliance were Frost and Kenshi. I'm gonna stop my Suhao joke for now and say almost everyone in Deadly Alliance were trash newcomers except for Kenshi and Frost.
Yeah.
Because let's see, Mavado, he was just some guy that took Cabal's hook swords, trash character. Let's see, there was Suhao.
Discussion Havoc.
Havoc was Deception.
Yeah, I said Deception, Havoc.
Deception had Havoc, who was all right. Havoc was pretty cool.
Surprised how they've never brought him back, despite that he was like mentioned in Mortal Kombat 9.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like Havoc would have been kind of all right to see, but like I also want to say Shujinko was all right in concept. Like I just feel like it helped that Shujinko actually was like kind of it helped that you actually got to play as him in the conquest mode, which was actually kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
Like I feel like Shujinko is like more of a case of like a lot of people just hated him because he was like the new protagonist and like Liu Kang was dead.
Yeah.
Shujinko's all right. I'll say like as a protagonist, he's all right. He's just really gullible, but that was like the point of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Cobra, who's just Ken.
Literally just Ken.
Yeah, he was just literally just Ken Masters, just as a thug. You had
I'm surprised we never got that.
Then you had Kira, who was just Sonya and Kano combined.
I'm surprised that we never got the classic Capcom and SNK throwing passive shade at each other when Cobra was made.
Because like I think part of it's like because Capcom like in Mortal Kombat isn't really that notable in Japan, so they're not gonna like really bother making a shot at a game that barely makes a blip there.
Yeah.
I wish I could see the sales data of like modern day MK over there.
Well, let's see. Other than Melina,
Mortal Kombat, but it's like there's like from what I've heard like from Japan fan bases, like Mortal Kombat is like there's a cult following, but it's like super small. Like it's smaller than I'd argue a KOF following in America. Like to put it in perspective, Guilty Gear has a bigger following in America than Mortal Kombat does in Japan.
Oof.
Like this is pre-Strive Guilty Gear 2 for the record.
Yeah. Let's see. I do. So like, other than those four, do we have like a real example other than those four that we mentioned, like Baiken, Jurihan?
I would say Waluigi would be that if they added a Smash.
A well-liked character that actually got done right. I'm actually playing him right now. People wanted Q to come back, and look at what we got.
Well, G's
yeah, we got G,
but it helps that people actually do play Q though.
Yeah, but I mean, he's arguably bad in Third Strike.
Well, he's bad in 3, but he's fun to play in 3.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a low tier main. He's like Ganondorf in Smash Brothers. People made him in spite of the fact that he's a low tier.
Yeah, but people thought he wouldn't come back, and we did, and he's great in this.
She's a different character though, but she's
it's
cool.
Dude, that he might be connected, but it's never connected.
Dude, but let's just treat G as a newcomer for the sake of technicality.
But I will say, do y'all know something that really bothers me about the arcade mode in this game? You can play as Poison in place of Hugo, then why can't you use G in place of Q? I know it's to play up the mystery, but I mean, come on. Lock him to.
It does make sense in a weird way.
Lock G to his story costume, and there you go.
Anyway, though, you have to own the story costume too.
He comes with it.
No,
even if you don't have the DLC,
if you bought him with fight money, you don't get the story costume.
No, that's the thing that even if the arcade mode, if you don't own the costumes yourself, they still get switched over to them. Is the thing?
They do. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, arcade automatically will switch the character.
I own a Champion Edition, which gives me like everything except for the Pro Tour stuff.
Yeah, but basically, even if you don't own any DLC,
so okay.
Characters.
I really wasn't sure about that, so thank you for correcting me on that.
Yeah, but
I think there's another character that's that way. I kind of want to say to an extent Bridget, but I've actually seen a lot of Bridget players at tournaments for XX, so I feel like that doesn't count. Like, I've seen more Bridgets than I've seen Enos, but that's because Enos, like, very execution heavy.
Oh, wait, we actually excluded, like, the final good example of a ratio game, and we were talking about it enough. We were talking about it a lot the days leading up, but I'm surprised that we actually almost omitted the whole entire mention of it for this. that would be Garou, Mark of the Wolves.
Oh, Garou, we need to talk. Yeah, Garou's a good example of how you do like one newcomer, one veteran, all newcomers perfectly, but it helps like Garou. Garou's like a soft reboot, technically, of Fatal Fury as well.
Not even just that, but like I would even go as far to say that Garou actually pulled this off good, because Garou, even though that it's like canonically like technically in a canonical sense is like a sequel series to the Fatal Fury franchise, but it's just the fact that it can very easily stand alone as its own game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a soft reboot. It's like it's a sequel, but it can stand on its own merits.
Yeah, because in a marketing standpoint, the game can actually just exist on its own without having that overlooming legacy of saying, hey, this is supposed to be Fatal Fury. Where the fuck is everyone I know?
It also helps that KOF was going on at the time too, so it's like, hey, these guys ain't going anywhere. They're still going to be in KOF, which is like the big one. Whereas Garou's like, hey, you want to see a game that's like a sequel to a distant sequel to Fatal Fury with a bunch of cool characters? Here's Garou. And I was like, Garou had awesome newcomers to go too. So you had Rock Howard, who was pretty cool, who was a cool protagonist. You had, let's see, you had Freeman, who's like a cool evil dude. You had Gata, who was awesome. Like, I'd say Gata was my favorite of the characters in that game.
You had B. Janet.
You had, B. Janet was pretty cool. Then you have the mighty Kusnud Butt.
Marco Rodriguez.
Butt, he is butt to me.
We also had one of the best grapplers in the KOF.
T-Zoc!
T-Zoc's awesome.
That's a GQ situation, ain't it?
Not really. King of Dinosaurs is just straight up, oh yeah, that's T-Zoc.
No, dude. He will fight you tooth and nail.
Yeah,
No,
but
why would you say that he's the same character?
T-Zoc, what's up?
He's clearly not, man. You gotta respect the luchador lifestyle. Yeah.
Why would a luchador?
T-Zoc, what's going on? He's like,
Why would a luchador lie to you by saying that he is not? That he is? Why would a luchador lie to you by saying that he is not someone else? He clearly. I mean, literally, look at him. Why would T-Zoc have these?
T-Zoc's not a heel.
But you know what I mean.
That's like saying Bear is the same person as Raiden. Anyway, but yeah, like Garou is a good example of how you do it right. Like I see people cite Garou, but it's like the thing with Garou though, that's because like the reason why that was the last game for a while, SNK went belly up at that point. Yeah.
Like it's like they were working on a Garou sequel, so the Garou definitely did well enough for them to consider a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that we can compare Garou to Street Fighter 3. I'd say that Garou was more appreciated when it came out instead of Street Fighter 3's becoming appreciated after the fact.
Yeah, it did better in the it did the exact
When the
opposite.
Street Fighter 3 like was put on like PS3,
Oh, 3.
Xbox 360, when that finally came out for like, you know, HD consoles, and it was like a $10 downloadable game, constant top seller on download charts because people finally had an easy way to play Street Fighter 3.
It and CVS too.
Well, see,
I'll even say this might come out as a hot take. This might come out as a hot take, but like maybe this might also be like a small reason as to why like there was like this weird belief that like Capcom or like Ono was like very hesitant to bring back any Third Strike characters for like later entries. I want to say that it was like maybe that had some I want to say that might have had like some idea since 3, like when it first came out there was like people still very hesitant to accept the game and only took like more like modern like ports, home consoles, and also third online edition for people to finally like universally say that oh man, this is such a great game.
In fact, I'm pulling up Fuck off, Game Rant. I'm not turning off ad blocker. Continue. Anyway, I'm on Game Rant, which this is a weakest characters according to lore. Now, I was looking for a worst characters list. Okay, Screen Rant, 15 lamest characters. This is Screen Rant, so this is like the normie tier. But anyway, 15 lamest characters. Let's see. I'm gonna see how many characters from Street Fighter 3 pop onto this list. Let's see. When was this made? November 29th, 2016. So this was recent-ish. This is like recent as of when Street Fighter 5 first launched. So number 15, Doctrine Dark. That's an EX character. Number 14, Hugo. First Street Fighter 3 character. Hugo. Let's see. Seth. That's a fourth character. 12, Rainbow Mika. Why is Rainbow Mika on this list? All right.
Wait, what? What's the list again?
On this list, he's not even a Street Fighter character. That's a costume. Skip. Rufus, number 10. El Forte, number 9. Number 8, Remy. That's the second Street Fighter 3 character. I agree.
This is what happens when you pick Screen Rant.
Ken, Street Fighter 2010, the Final Fight version.
It's not even the same.
Number 1, Dan Ibby. Okay, never mind. There was 2 characters of Street. Because I remember there was like one that had like 8. Because I remember like there was a like top 10 worst Street Fighter characters list. 8 of them were from Street Fighter 3.
You only have yourself to blame. You picked fucking Street.
Honestly, I figured this was gonna have a shit ton of Street Fighter 3 characters.
Again, Screen Rant.
I know. I figured they were gonna talk about like that one. Anyway, worst characters. Okay. Top 10 worst Street Fighter characters.
Should probably say top 10. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it. Like I figured they were gonna put. Like, I figured Screen Rant was going to be so normie, it was going to be nothing but Street Fighter 3 characters. That's why I picked it.
Please, Screen Rant. Please, Screen Rant did a top 10.
I know Screen Rant is, like, terrible, but this is, like, one that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to use what culture. Okay, this is what culture. Number 10, Birdie. That's Street Fighter Alpha. Number 9, Rainbow Week. Dudley. Okay, first Street Fighter 3 character. Number 7, Pullum. Number 6, 12. That's the second Street Fighter 3 character. Hakan, that's Street Fighter 4. Number 4, Sean, that's a third Street Fighter 3 character. Kage, that's Street Fighter 5. Dan, why is everyone putting fucking Dan here? Number 1 is Sawada. But
Captain Sawada.
Street Fighter 3 characters that do pop up.
Fucking Captain Sawada.
I think Dan's on the list because
Why
remember.
why are like a lot of people putting Armika on these like worst lists? She's like one of the most popular characters.
Women bad.
It's probably just for the fact that she was like up until like 5, she was only ever in like 1 actual game.
All right, here's another list. Okay.
Okay, yeah, true.
That's a surprise. Okay, number 14, Remy, Street Fighter 3. Let's see, Birdie.
You're just really screaming.
Evil Ryu. 11, Blanca. Oh, that's a controversial take there.
Wow, you were just really like. He
wants to see Randy.
Very massive. That is a nuclear take there. Blanca's like one of the most popular characters. Oh, even there. Okay, this one acknowledges that like this is probably the most controversial selection on this list. Blanca is easily one of the original 8. Okay, number 10 is Seth. Okay, a lot of people don't like Seth. I get that. Number 9 is T-Hawk.
My name is Seth.
Actually really unpopular. Number 8, Decapare. Number 7, Sodom. Number 6, Nash.
Ha!
Another victim of lazy character design. Charlie Nash was first referencing.
Nash looks awesome in Alpha.
Number 5, Rufus. Number 4, Gil. Number 3, Cody.
Send that.
2,
this is triggering me. Close the list. Close the list.
DM that to Cedric.
I am DMing this list. Like this is just garbage.
Close the list. We're getting off topic, and this is gonna trigger.
Like I know what's going on.
Okay, Epilogue Gaming top 10 Street Fighter characters of all time.
Please don't do this to us.
Okay, no, this is a top 10 good.
Okay, there we go. Okay, back on subject. You see what I did?
Okay, so yeah, basically we have a good. Yeah, basically Garou succeeded where Street 3 didn't, but that's also like the fact that like marketing-wise, Garou Market Wolves didn't immediately make it evident that Fatal Fury was a sequel to Fatal Fury. It kind of like it obviously like kind of implied by just having an older Terry. Obviously, best Terry, but I'm not going to.
Oh,
get
dude,
into
I
that.
wish the bomber jacket would come back as an alt, please.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, there we go,
Oh,
Jesse.
assholes.
You were getting way dedicated to finding this.
Yeah, you were
No,
getting way off track, dude.
Oh, I do want to say this. I found a top 10 best characters list that did not have Ryu on it at all.
Nice.
I
They
mean,
have
that's
standards.
understandable. Anyways,
Other than that, the list was alright.
You were
But
just trying. You
anyway,
were just trying to
yeah.
prove on stream how many lists say Remy's a bad character.
Yeah.
But
The hidden
Charlie,
agenda.
I was just trying to use as a way to illustrate, like, because almost like every list I found like had Street Fighter 3 characters, so it was a good way to put out like a lot of Street Fighter 3's newcomers were not popular
but
for
that
a while.
thing straight up said Charlie.
Oh yeah, well those are people that are stupid.
Charlie is cool.
Yeah, Charlie is cool. We'll talk about this another time for sure. Me and
Yeah.
Dustin will talk about this in the
Dude, that
French
could be a French cast thing. Y'all just pull up random top 10 lists about fighting
Yeah.
games.
But anyway, for closing thoughts, let's
Screen
take this
rant
down.
only.
Yeah. So closing thoughts.
Jack of all plot holes.
So the closing thought that this hot take that mentioned like the idea that reduce the returning characters and actually introducing mostly new ones. Like subjectively, that's possible, but objectively, history says that that is a terrible decision for the most part. Because like the thing about fighting games, like half of what you need to do to get people interested is like it's half like actually having a good cohesive functioning game, but
Mhm.
another half is also marketing in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sure, that may be the truth to say about like any game, but it's especially important for fighting games because fighting games usually, because like we're still living in a world where like even if fighting games have like now like a more focus on like esports and stuff, it's
Mhm.
still like a genre that not many people will immediately pick up because of the general like stagnation that has the whole you need to learn and practice your craft instead of just being able to like immediately jump in and learn as you go. Some
Yeah.
people aren't like some people aren't immediately going to want to like sit down and lab.
But
in-
that's what you
sit down-
have to do, especially with
Yeah.
the more complicated
Well,
characters.
We're getting let
No,
him finish.
I just want to say that is something that pisses me off more than ever.
That is another topic when it comes to fighting games, though.
No. This is actually very tying in to what I'm saying. Like,
I hate that mentality. Like, you pick the character up, can't master them. Dude, no, seriously, y'all gotta remember where I work. I hear that shit all the time. Because
yes, and that kind of branches off to the idea that like, marketing and the functionality goes hand in hand. Because if you strip someone of one of their like actual mains from a previous game, that's going to hurt. But they can at least have the alternative of like seeing characters that they might have played in the past, and also they might have played in the past and see that they're relatively the same. So that'd be like, okay, well, even if I don't have my main character, I can at least show some interest in playing these other characters that I not played as much but are still familiar with in order to like find a place in this new title. However, if you straight up strip all of what makes like, if you strip like what mostly makes a game like recognizable to like someone who always had a passing interest into your series but never got in, and just show and like heard all of the great things in this previous, all the great fun things in this previous thing were like, oh yeah, these characters were always cool. I kind of did want to play. Maybe I can play. Maybe since the new game's coming out, I can play with it and not get caught up. And then you just see no one you fucking other than Resident Showdown fuck motherfucker over here. that
Mhm.
chances are, if you never were in the series, you might think looks a bit bland.
Yeah.
And so you kind of just get your like whole dead like, oh, I guess things are different now. Don't really I want to click with these characters, but I don't know if I want to click with these characters. Like, some of them look cool, but I'm not really familiar with them, so I don't like jump in and just learn something new instead of something like I've faintly been familiar with.
Like, not gonna lie, not gonna lie, DJ being in 4 is actually what finally made me try it out.
Yeah, which is ironic because DJ is like on like the very bottom tier list of people, but like he's
I
not the
know,
worst character.
but
Yeah.
I like DJ in 2.
He's not the worst character in 4. We'll say
Also, Chivar 4's balance is actually like also really fucking good.
yeah.
No matter who you pick.
Yeah, but like it's usually returning characters. It's like it's also a nice way to like actually make people like actually interested to like trying characters that they might have been hesitant to do previously in
Yeah.
like older entries. But like you do still want to like actually mix up. You actually do still want to like mix up in terms actually what's fresh. Like you don't want to just copy and paste the exact same roster every single time, or else you're just going to run into like the problem of over stagnation to where it's like why even, to where people are like, why even claim this is a new fucking, it feels exactly like the old one.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's basically my close. That if you want to try this, if you want to try out the idea that a almost completely new roster over returning legacy characters to establish, it's not always going to work out.
Well, I mean, of course.
Anyway,
You-
can I?
you-
Oh, sorry.
You gotta have something to latch on to.
Oh, totally. Like, I think I should bring up my analogy real quick. Like, why? Like, because I play Guilty Gear primarily as my fighting game. I main Soul Bad Guy, and let's say they make a Guilty Gear game that does not have Soul Bad Guy or Kai, I would be like, what the point? What's the point of this? Where's my mains?
And then it has Lunar Good Guy.
You know, Lunar Good Guy. That would be stupid. Lunar Good Guy is the stupidest thing ever. I'm going to invent Lunar Good Guy, and I'm going to have him be beaten up by Soul Bad Guy. But anyway, mind if I make an announcement real quick?
Sure.
It's for new video order.
Oh, for the other podcast, right.
Yeah. Anyway, new video order. There's going to be another one next Monday. Catch me and Sony
do
My
the
Serial
shout-out?
as we discuss. Since while on the topic of fighting games, me and him found a unique project titled the Ryu and Chun-Li Project that we stumbled upon. Want to learn about this utter terror? Join us on my Twitch for the new video order.
Today, we're gonna be talking about the Ryu!
We're gonna be talking about the Chun-Li. You think that's funny, butthead?
And we're gonna talk about the guy, and they're gonna talk about the guy that really, you can't stop talking about them.
He is like absolutely dedicated to this. Like, what the hell?
But that's a story that's worth expanding on by itself.
another story. Like, we're gonna keep you guys up for the suspense. I'd rather not spoil anything about
Yeah.
it, because this is a story with twists and turns. But anyway, I also want to add one more thing about. I think I realized we forgot one thing also about this, about the whole returning characters. And we were talking about Mortal Kombat. We forgot one thing. Anyone remember vanilla Mortal Kombat 3 and how that didn't have Scorpion?
Oh, yeah!
I blocked that
Oh,
out of my
remember
memory.
how they didn't have them in the Game Boy version?
No, just vanilla Mortal Kombat 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally just had to make Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 to like
Just to add Scorpion back.
just to remedy this.
Oh wait, remember Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the Game Boy didn't have
Well,
Sub-Zero.
well, that's a shitty port though.
I
We're
know,
talking,
but
like,
I just find it hilarious to think that there's a Mortal Kombat game that exists, a fighting game, that does not
without
have.
Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Yeah. How the hell did that happen?
But the thing with Mortal Kombat 3, though, Mortal Kombat 3 Vanilla, it didn't have Scorpion, it didn't have Johnny Cage, it didn't have Raiden, it didn't have a lot of popular characters, and some of MK3's newcomers weren't really that well received either at the
What's
time.
up with third games in these franchises, man?
Well, okay, Mortal Kombat 3, it's worth pointing out the actor for Scorpion left over a payment dispute.
Yeah.
So they had to, like, really make do with what they could do.
Hence Sub-Zero's brand new design.
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat 3 was interesting because like a lot of the actors just walked out on them, so they had to get new actors completely. Yeah, there's royalty disputes for that one, so that's why Mortal Kombat 3 at least had an excuse.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what is up with the,
Just-
like, what are third games in fighting game franchises fucking cursed? I'm scared for the
No,
hit.
Tekken 3, Guilty Gear XX.
Okay, 2D fighters,
Fatal Fury 3.
sprite-based fighters.
Guilty Gear XX was mostly all new. Guilty Gear XX had everyone up to that point. And that's the third entry in the series.
And there's also Fatal Fury 3, which introduced our boy Ryuji.
Ryuji.
Let me. I gotta get that.
Ryuji Yamazaki.
Oh yeah, he did. Fucking Orochi Blood himself, but he's too fucking crazy.
Yeah, too fucking crazy to actually
Be
lose
effective.
himself.
Like, could you imagine if he learned how to just like half tap into that?
Yeah, it's actually ironic how like he
He just fucking gains. He literally gains Virgil's ability million step.
Yeah,
man,
but, yeah. I think we got our. I think we pretty much got our like closing.
Yeah.
thoughts out.
Well,
So-
alrighty, and what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, I'm probably going to start streaming my next playthrough, which will probably be, probably blasphemous, actually. Hardcore platformer that is going to kill me a lot, but I like it, and I plan on doing the Bloodstained crossover DLC as well. But y'all stay tuned for that. See y'all tomorrow on that.
Yep, and I'm the Howling Storm, and play Fighting EX Layer. Seriously,
Yes.
game is fucking good. It has fucking
EX Layer
rollback.
is good.
It
Yes.
has fucking rollback. I know that it's only on Switch, but listen, just because a lot of other fighting
The
games
Switch
are
needs
bad
a
on
good
Switch,
fighting game,
this
okay?
one isn't.
The Switch
Just-
needs a
just
good
playing it.
fighter.
Also get Battle for the Grid on Twitch. Battle for the Grid
Buy
is
it
awesome,
now.
too.
It is free. You get 4 characters, and then you can buy the rest later.
Yes,
Also
chill.
play Battle for the Grid. Battle for the Grid's also awesome on Switch.
Yeah, but you got to pay for that.
I'm just getting dragged away. Play.